Oh, contact.
McMurray and Regan Smith.
Regan Smith trying to race his way into the 500 as a rookie.
Yeah, and there's Gordon. He's come from way back. He got tires.
Nemechek is ahead of the 15 of Menard.
No, baby. Hang on, baby. And Jeff Gordon has come from way, way back to make a run here right on the end. He's going to go the outside, and here he comes.
But I'm going to tell you what. Watch Mike Wallace right there in the 09 car. There's the...
Jeff Gordon's going to win his third duel at Daytona. Nemechek.
And Sterling Marlin will be in. Jeremy Mayfield will not make the Daytona 500.
My.
Nor will Paul Menard, Kevin LePage, Derek Cope, Regan Smith, Frank Kimmel, Eric McClure go home, along with Brian Vickers, Mike Skimmer.
Get in.
And oh, by the way, Jeff Gordon won the race, his third duel at Daytona. His first came in his rookie season, 1993, and he won his second one last year. Here's how he did it.
Oh, yeah, he gets a great run down the back. He gets a bump here from Strimmy, and that just sends him by. Matt Kenseth on the outside. That leaves a two-setting duck. Strimmy gives him a little shot. Woo. Tried to block him, but he couldn't.
But Darrell, he was able to maneuver the race car with the fresh tires. And let's go back to Joe Nemechek in the 13 car. His crew chief, Peter Suspenzo, gave him two right side tires. Great call.
Did Busch and Gordon touch?
No.
Oh, we're going to have a look for that.
They just kissed.
Just a little. Chris Devoda is in victory lane with another celebrant.
That's right, very familiar territory for Jeff Gordon. More Daytona wins than any other active driver, so no surprise to see him back here in victory lane for this dual race number 2 as he climbs out of his number 24 DuPont Chevrolet. And Jeff, I guess you could say pit strategy played in your favor. Talk about the decision to come in for those 2 tires.
A lot of things played in our favor there at the end. I just didn't think we had the car to be able to do it today. We got shuffled back a couple of times there and really got a big push. But between taking those 2 tires, which is a great call by Steve Letarte, and getting a lot of help between J.J. Yaley and David Strimmy. I mean, those are only 2 of a few guys that really gave us some big pushes there at the end. But I got to the outside every time the 18 got behind me. I'd take advantage of that push and go to the outside, and it worked out in our favor. I got to thank DuPont and Pepsi, GMAC, Nicorette, all the folks, GP with Sparkle, and this is just an awesome feeling. There's nothing greater than being in Daytona and being in victory lane. It's awesome.
I heard you say that you love to win. Do you have the kind of car that's going to be back here in victory lane like you were in 2005 on Sunday?
Well, we just showed anything's possible, so I didn't think we had the car to be able to get here today, but we got here, and so we got a little bit of work to do. I think there's some guys out there a little bit stronger than us, but you got to get out front. The clean air is out front. The tires definitely grip only for a few laps, and then then you got to just ride and find some clean air out there. And if you don't have a drafting partner, it's a lot of work out there. But I tell you what, these guys, it just feels awesome. I'm so excited to be back in victory lane. It's great.
Big smile, but they did say they've got 1 more to win on Sunday. Dave Despain?
If you can win with a car with which you are not very happy on Thursday, it certainly bodes well for Sunday and the 49th running of the Daytona 500.
But look back there on row 2. I think there's your heavyweight contenders. Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon winning their respective duels today. You got to have to watch these guys.
Our congratulations to the race winners, Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon. Roberts in victory lane, thank you all so much for being part of this, our first duels broadcast.
I'm not trying to start anything here, guys, but that right rear tire on that 24 car looked soft. I guess it didn't. But I know one thing, Stewart is closing in a hurry.
He's got a half a lap to go, Mike.
I guess Jeff is just being that cautious, but I thought I saw that right rear tire look like it was a little soft.
Jeff Gordon rounds turn 4. Become the first driver in the history of Phoenix International Raceway to win a Cup race from the pole. Jeff Gordon finally gets his first Phoenix win and ties Dale Earnhardt.
Jeff Gordon, I got a special flag for you at the start-finish line. If you want it, bud, come and get it. Special flag.
Look at the hats if you want an indication of what that flag says.
Got a pretty good idea of what it'll say.
You guys are awesome in there. Way to go.
Chevy congratulates Jeff Gordon, winner of the Subway Fresh Fit 500. Chevy, an American Revolution. As Jeff Gordon salutes the Richard Childress owned number 3 as it was driven by Dale Earnhardt to 6 of his 7 Nextel Cup championships tonight. Gordon ties Earnhardt for career wins in Nextel Cup racing.
And I don't think there's any question. We've known for years that Jeff Gordon's going to rewrite the record book. I mean, he's a young man. He's still got a lot of racing ahead of him, a lot of wins, championships. We always knew he would rewrite the record books.
Since last July, he's been chasing that 76th victory. Tonight is special. His first one here at Phoenix in a Cup car. You've already talked to the boss. Dale Earnhardt Jr. came by to congratulate you. What does number 76 mean to you?
Yeah, it means the world. You know, just to get a win at a track we never won at before. I drove my guts out. I never had to drive so hard for a win, and I love racing Tony Stewart and Jimmy and all those guys who are racing there. And you know, that holding that 3 flag, you know, it's certainly by no means say I'm as good or we're as good or even close, but tell you what, to honor him in that way, it really means a lot to me. I learned so much from him, and to even come close to anything he had ever done in this sport is amazing to me. So we want to honor him. We've been holding on that flag for a long time, but to get 76 is incredible.
Here's a 24 on pit road.
The pole sitter, Jeff Gordon, will surrender 2nd place to come to pit road.
Now, this is where Tony Stewart, he's going to have to come pretty quick. We're seeing Ryan Newman, the 12, Kevin Harvick, the 29.
Trouble.
Got a car around, big crash.
Blaney, Yaley, and the number 1 of Martin Truex. And this caution will burn several teams and pin them a lap down because they pitted under green.
See Jeff Gordon, they're going to go ahead and complete their stop.
And they were trying to decide whether they're going to go on and change all 4 tires or not, and he drove off with a wheel loose.
And now they have a violation. Jeff Gordon had come to pit road. His crew chief, Steve Letarte, looking things over. His reaction. Up there on the box with Ken Howes. So, who gets caught a lap down? We'll wait for the leaders to come around behind the caution car and the scoring to cycle. But Dale Earnhardt Jr., Kurt Busch, Ryan Newman.
But it appears that the 24 car, because of where he was running on the racetrack and where the caution came out, that they got their 4 tires changed, and he stayed on the lead lap. Now remember, Tony Stewart, Kenseth, all those other cars, Matt, they have to make a pit stop, so it's going to be interesting on his 24 car.
Jeff Gordon just said, Larry Matthews, I kind of questioned us stopping for the 4 tires. And he says when it all cycles out, though, Steve Letarte told him we should be the leader. He goes, yep, that was a great call by you and our guys.
Kurt Busch, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Ryan Newman, and Martin Truex Jr. were lead lap cars when they pitted under green, and they are now a lap down.
Let me show you what helped the 24 car there. His pit box right there was that very first pit box. Well, 2 things helped him. Running near the leader and having that very end pit box, so he had to only move a few feet to stay on the lead lap. That's what qualified on the pole. There's his pit box right there. He only had to move to right there, and the field's frozen right there. So that's great call on that team.
And how did he get to use that pit box? He won the pole, so his team had the first pick of pit position. Joe Nemechek. 22 laps to go. Here is the crash at turn 4. Synced up time code, real time, both views. Since Jeff Gordon's already on pit road when the caution comes out, pit road closes. But since he's already on pit road, he can make his stop if he chooses, or he can just drive on through.
But remember, everybody else out on the racetrack, they've started to slow down right there to get down to caution lap speed.
Our Nextel call of the race. There's the chirp as Nextel helps NASCAR and NASCAR fans get things done. Who's made the call of the race?
Well, 2 things. The 24 to me, I mean, Steve Letarte did a great job of going ahead and making his pit stop. Jeff Gordon did a great job of not panicking and driving on through the pit and being at the back.
No question. I'm going to go with a car that hadn't had a top 10 since Martinsville last October. Bobby.
Here's a turn of events that will take a little explaining. Jeff Gordon was on pit road when the caution came out. You saw him complete his stop, get back on track ahead of the pace car, so he's the last car on the lead lap. The next time around, while we're in commercial, all of the lead lap cars pit. leaving Gordon to come up behind the pace car as the race leader. His rabbit's foot is hopping along. You could not have called it any better to have him pit stop when the flag waves for caution and emerge as the leader, but he did.
It's the perfect storm. I mean, you could not have nailed it any better.
But now he has a little problem between him and that pace car. Kurt Busch in the 2, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8, Martin Truex Jr. in the 1. Remember, Jeff Gordon, the 4th car in line, the leader.
There's a look at your Napa race summary with 20 laps to go.
I actually don't think those cars are a problem other than if they hold him up, and they're not. They're good race cars. They won't. But them being in front of him could give Tony Stewart and Matt Kenseth a real shot at getting around him. Pick the wrong line, go high, everybody goes low. You go low, everybody goes high. You could be in big trouble.
There is Jeff Gordon, not directly behind the pace car because those cars on the outside lane, they were a lap down when the caution came out, but because all the lead lap cars pitted, they are now on the tail end of the lead lap. Kurt Busch, Dale Jr., and Martin Truex. We're coming to green with 19 to go from our DLP Ultimate Picture Cam.
And as you can see, nobody's going to cut him any slack. Jeff Gordon, Martin Truex going to race him hard, trying to stay on the tail end of the lead lap.
And so will Tony Stewart, right on Gordon's bumper. Saturday night shootout, 18 to go.
Yeah, you better believe those 3 cars trying to race to stay on the lead lap, Truex, Earnhardt, and Busch, they need a caution. And Earnhardt, yeah, he capitalized and made a pass for the 4th position over Jimmy Johnson in the 48 car.
The Roush Fenway Ford of Kenseth in 3rd.
Jeff Gordon has put a little bit of space between he and Tony Stewart, but he has his hands full right now with that 1 car, Truex Jr.
Yeah, nobody's going to, you know, you got to try to, Truex, you got to try to stay on the lead lap if he can, and so far he can. Tony's loving this.
But Jeff Gordon's...
He's not going to be still driving forward.
Jeff Gordon's not a happy man.
Oh, no.
And he's got to go, or Tony Stewart will.
Here comes that 11 car there on the right side of your screen. Denny Hamlin going after Matt Kenseth in that 17 for the 3rd spot.
I believe he got him going down into 1. He got position on him.
Whoa, Tony, 3 wide. No.
Somebody's going to have to give, boys, before you get to turn 3. Stewart's going to try to stay in it on the high side.
Did it, man. Truex had to lift out a little bit, open the door.
Wow, what a move.
And he took the lead.
You can do that off of that corner over there if you're brave.
That was unbelievable.
I don't think that the 24 is real happy with anybody right now.
13 to go.
Jeff Gordon says, you can't do that to me.
Look how loose Stewart is off the corner. Gordon's coming right back at him on the inside.
Oh, yeah, but they got trouble with that. Well, that's Truex right there. The 11 is back there a little further.
Gordon goes to the inside.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Oh, boy.
But, boy, he got a good bite off turn 4. He's going to take the lead back. 12 to go.
This is great, isn't it?
And Kenseth now is right with the 2 leaders. Look at that yellow 17. There's your front 3.
I don't think old Smoke is through with the back bumper of that 24 car just yet.
And here comes that 17 car, Matt Kenseth. He says, you guys keep going at it. I won't up there.
Stewart had a bite of the lead and a taste of it. Now he wants that whole steak.
Boy, I tell you, I am impressed with Jeff Gordon. No quit in him tonight. He wants to win the race, not only from the pole, but for the first time, and he has got a car that can do it.
He's tired of running second with the car tomorrow.
And they are starting to put some distance on Denny Hamlin in 4th place.
He's got a little bit of room in front of him now. It's quite a ways up there to those other cars. 11 to go, 10 to go this time.
Well, Jeff Gordon has just run a 28.45. That's 6/10 quicker than he ran any time tonight. He is the money man.
Those 2 passes were just incredible. First, Stewart, right up the middle. I didn't think those 3 cars would fit right there.
You got to give Truex a lot of credit, though. He squeezed up and made just enough room for the 2 leaders to get through.
He finally realized that was enough.
He fought as hard as he could, but when it was time to get out of the way, he did.
And all Stewart did was get Jeff Gordon right back up on the wheel.
Oh, yeah. Jeff didn't like that. I'm going to get that, boy.
Great racing.
Right here.
I don't believe they got anything for the 24, though. He's checking on out on these guys. I think at this point, the two giants up front, Gordon and Stewart, I think they said, okay, I gave you my best shot. You got it.
Well, one thing we know about this car tomorrow, Darrell, the best drivers are still the best drivers, and the smartest teams are still the smartest teams. That's who's up front.
And the man up front right now, Jeff Gordon, the 24 car. Remember, he's our Nextel Cup points leader. It'll be 5 to go. You can see the distance he's now put on Tony Stewart in his 20.
And Mike, that's the same yesterday, today, and it will be the same tomorrow.
I know we're watching our top 5 right now, but we talked about Jeff Green in the 66 car. His teammate, Johnny Sauter, in the 70, up there in the top 10 in 9th. Great run for Haas Racing tonight.
I think Jeff Gordon right now, though, guys, think about it. Nobody's won this race from a pole. He's probably going to do it. Jeff Gordon's never won at Phoenix. He's probably going to do it. And guess what else he's going to do? Tie Dale Earnhardt for 6 wins. So tonight, in this weekend, he tied for the most poles in the modern era, and he's going to tie Dale Earnhardt for wins.
Funny that today, Dale Earnhardt was born in April 1951. They'll celebrate Dale Earnhardt Day at DEI. Jeff Gordon is 4 laps away. And there is the all-time win list headed by the king, Richard Petty. And those are the all-time greats of this sport right there. Passing David Stremmy's wounded car.
These cars up front right now are so equal. 87 on Gordon, 83 on Stewart. Hamlin's in 81, Jimmy Johnson's in 83. That's your lead car.
Everybody's in the 80s.
They're same speed.
2 laps to go this time.
I tell you, Smoke is going to give it one more shot, but I don't think he's got enough to get there.
And nobody can say this was a cakewalk for Jeff Gordon. He had to fight his way back.
A little bit more right here for you. White flag when you get down there.
I mean, just how solid this group has been all year long. If they can hang on in the top 5, this right here.
I'm not trying to start anything here, guys, but that right rear tire on that 24 car looks soft. I guess it didn't. But I know one thing, Stewart is closing in a hurry.
He's got a half a lap to go, Mike.
I guess Jeff is just being that cautious, but I thought I saw that right rear tire look like it was a little soft.
Jeff Gordon rounds turn 4. Become the first driver in the history of Phoenix International Raceway to win a Cup race from the pole. Jeff Gordon finally gets his first Phoenix win and ties Dale Earnhardt.
Jeff Gordon, I got a special flag for you at the start-finish line. If you want it, bud, come and get it. Special flag.
Look at the hats if you want an indication of what that flag says.
A pretty good idea of what it will say.
Guys are awesome in there. Way to go.
congratulates Jeff Gordon, winner of the Subway Fresh Fit 500 Chevy, an American Revolution, as Jeff Gordon salutes the Richard Childress owned number 3 as it was driven by Dale Earnhardt to 6 of his 7 Nextel Cup championships tonight. Gordon ties Earnhardt for career wins in Nextel Cup racing.
And I don't think there's any question. We've known for years that Jeff Gordon's going to rewrite the record book. I mean, he's a young man. He's still got a lot of racing ahead of him, a lot of wins, championships. We always knew he would rewrite the record books.
3 races for NASCAR's Car of Tomorrow. Jeff Gordon's finishes 3rd, 2nd, and tonight 1st. Not since Chicagoland last July had Jeff Gordon driven into victory lane, but he's there now after a fierce battle with Tony Stewart. And Matt Yoakum's with him.
Since last July, he's been chasing that 76 victory. Tonight is special. His first one here at Phoenix in a Cup car. You've already talked to the boss. Dale Earnhardt Jr. came by to congratulate you. What does number 76 mean to you?
Yeah, it means the world. You know, just to get a win at a track that we never won at before. I drove my guts out. I never had to drive so hard for a win, and I love racing Tony Stewart and Jimmy and all those guys who are racing there. And you know, holding that 3 flag, you know, it's certainly by no means say I'm as good or we're as good or even close, but tell you what, to honor him in that way, it really means a lot to me. I learned so much from him, and to even come close to anything he had ever done in this sport is amazing to me. So we want to honor him. We've been holding on that flag for a long time, but to get 76 is incredible. I got to thank everybody from DuPont and Pepsi and you know, GMAC. I'm so fired up here. Obviously, Pepsi, Nicorette.
I think everybody's fired up. I mean, starting from when this car fired up and you had radio problems to the great call by Steve Letarte when you were on pit road and the caution came out. It just seemed like everything was in the cards for you tonight. Yeah, it seemed like it. I mean, we didn't lead a ton, but we had a good car. And, you know, I would go for a long way and be one of the best cars, and then it'd fall off a little bit. And we kept adjusting. Great communication. Luckily, I had a radio. We switched that helmet out. It all did fall in our lap. You know, we got lucky getting on pit road when the caution came out, but I thought we needed to keep going through, and I almost drove through the pit. And Steve made the call, and I love him as a crew chief. He's an awesome guy, and he's sharp as can be. And he made that call. You know, he talked to the spotter and talked to me and the team, and you know, he's so cool under pressure. And man, it's just an awesome feeling. Great to get Chevy and Impala in here. You know, I don't know what to say. I'm overwhelmed right now. It's just an amazing victory for us, and I can't believe we finally won at Phoenix. And the first person he talked to in victory lane, a cell phone call from the boss, Rick Hendrick, back in Charlotte.
Thanks, Matt. Big Daddy made the big move with 13 laps to go to take the lead for the final time. But when Tony Stewart went to pass him 3 wide, did you think that was it?
No, I thought Tony, once he got in front, he'd be hard to get back around, but Jeff did not give up. And think about this, Larry. Mike, this kid started in 1992. 15 years ago, he has rewritten the record books all the way up to now.
And I couldn't help but think as I watched him carry that 3 flag around, when he won his first championship in 1995, Dale Earnhardt had been calling him the kid. So on stage, Jeff Gordon toasted Dale Earnhardt, not with a glass of champagne, but a glass of milk. And here he tied the man tonight with 76 wins.
What a race, what a finish. Wow, Jeff Gordon celebrates. We go to Steve Burns.
Mike with a check.
Thanks, Krista. Matt Kenseth, the top Ford Chevy, getting 8 of the top 10 spots. But let's talk about the moves made by Jeff Gordon, his crew. After 4 second-place finishes during this streak when he hadn't won a Cup race, he finally ties the late, great Dale Earnhardt.
Well, I know that's a huge accomplishment for Jeff Gordon. I mean, it seems like this year he's out to set records and to get a lot of things back on track. I mean, everything's just falling in place for him, from his marriage to his fatherhood. It's up and coming to the fact, you know, going 3-2-1 to be able to finally win a COT race. I mean, again, it shows how strong this team is, where they've been. Again, I think he is so excited about being able to make that accomplishment and be able to tie Dale Earnhardt Jr. But this team has really impressed me, and it started right on the get-go how they responded to this problem, Chris. I mean, they had communication problems. They knew they had an issue here. They responded to that. They were able to get back on track, and right there at the end, they caught the break of the night. Steve Letarte had made a call to come down pit road a little bit early. Caution came out, but they completed the deal, and even after Tony Stewart went blasting by him 3 wide, hey, he drove right back by him.
Fighting off Tony Stewart on a couple of different occasions over the final few laps, and at age 35, Gordon, a 4-time Cup champion. As he has said, he's never gotten the Nextel Cup, so hoping for a 5th. And the unofficial results, we know that Jeff Gordon is the winner. Jeff Gordon came in as the points leader, getting his first win of this season, the 8th race of the season in July. The 35-year-old Jeff Gordon will become a father. Maybe thinking about that.
Yeah, he's probably telling, hey, how do you like me now? Daddy's a winner.
Who's your daddy? Jeff Gordon. For Jeff Hammond, I'm Chris Myers, our entire crew. Thanks for watching NASCAR on Fox. We'll see you next Sunday in Talladega.
One car, the team that ran second in the Daytona 500. I believe I'm definitely going to tell them, here they go, down to the bottom.
You just heard him, and we're off to the races.
They'll be coming to 8 to go. You see Jimmy Johnson, the 48, Tony Stewart in the 20, Gordon in the 24. Down to the bottom and they go.
Now, here's what's going to happen. When that 41 car closes that hole up high, they got nowhere to go. What are they going to do then? Jimmy Johnson saw the light. He jumped back to the outside. But there's Tony and Jeff Gordon. I don't know, boys.
Backing up.
And we've got 8 to go, about 7.5 laps to go. We're getting a slight report. David Ruderman in the 00. Maybe a little bit of smoke in his cockpit. It doesn't matter. You got to go.
Now there's a tight draft on the bottom lane, and they're pushing forward once again.
Just a nice soft push.
And you see Jim Mind games, boys.
But here comes that 24 car. David Stremme trying to block him down on the bottom side. He can't do it. Here he comes with help from his teammate.
Yeah, don't tug on Superman's cape. Jeff Gordon won the pole. He's had a fast car all day, and he's got help.
5 to go, 5.
And all McMurray can do is drive out the rearview mirror. That's all he can do leading this race right now.
He's got a good race car. I saw that in practice on Thursday. Friday, he had a great car, but I don't think he can hold off that 8 car.
Did Jamie McMurray get to the front too soon?
I like what he did. He had no choice. He was going to get sacked either way.
Oh, Hamlin got a bump. And almost got out of shape.
Hamlin was trying to get into the line behind the Jeff Gordon so he could go forward. That outside line is still holding together pretty darn good.
We got 29 cars within a second of each other. They'll be coming to 4 to go this time.
Smoke, Ruderman.
Oh, no. What's happening to David?
Remember, we had a report that he had smoke in the cockpit.
Fair enough. Let them all come by.
Caution wheel wave. This is not what the 11 car wanted to see. Remember, Mike Ford talked about, didn't want to see a green-white checker.
Just as Jeff Gordon took the lead, caution comes out.
Goodness.
It's the race. We're going to call it overdrive.
Overdrive. I'm with you. Now, is it 24 ahead of the 26?
It depends, Darrell, on where they were when they crossed the scoring loop immediately prior to the waving of the caution flag.
Well, that could be very critical as well.
Yes, it could.
And we'll have to wait for word from timing and scoring. But now, 3 laps to go under yellow. They won't start next time by. They've got to clean up, so we will go into overdrive here at Talladega. The race leader is the pole sitter, Jeff Gordon. He had taken the lead from Jamie McMurray prior to the caution flag. So Gordon, who is trying to eclipse Dale Earnhardt's place on NASCAR's all-time win list, and could do so with a victory today, it would be his 77th. He is the leader, and we will race 2 laps when we get this cleaned up. Here's the list. Richard Petty with 200, David Pearson 105. Bobby Allison, Darrell Waltrip, and Cale Yarborough tightly packed in the low 80s. Earnhardt and Gordon.
That's all my heroes. It's all my heroes right there on that one list.
Let's show you while we're under caution about how Jeff got win number 76 last Saturday night at Phoenix. The caution had come out for a wreck involving Dave Blaney up in turn number 4. Tony Stewart was the race leader as Jeff Gordon came onto pit road prior to the caution flag, which then happens here. Blaney, the 22, is slowing, trying to get to pit road. He gets tagged and turned. The caution comes out. Gordon is making his way to his pit. From this camera, here's the line he has to cross to stay on the lead lap. Crew chief and spotter decide plenty of time to make the stop, get the 4 tires. See the circle? That's Tony Stewart. Clearly, Gordon got off pit road before Stewart came around to that point. So Gordon stayed on the lead lap. Then, when all the lead lap cars pitted under the caution flag, once pit road opened, Jeff Gordon pulled up behind the pace car and the cars that had not stopped, and he's the race leader. And no argument from anyone on that, but it is hard to explain without showing it to you. And thanks for bringing that video back from that hard camera in turn 1.
And I talked to Tony Stewart last night. He came by my motor coach and we chatted. He said, Larry, I never questioned was Jeff Gordon not still on the lead lap. I knew that he had beat me to that line. He said, when I saw the caution, there's a chance maybe I slowed down too much, but I did what I thought I should do.
Yeah, it almost makes you wonder, like speeding down pit road to keep him going a lap down. It almost makes you wonder, should Tony Stewart have sped around the racetrack? But then he'd have had to go to the back of the pack.
Right. Stewart's frustration, it turned out, were with some of the debris cautions last Saturday night. And his failure to report to the media center earned him a $10,000 fine this week. But we talked about the ironies of today's race. One of the ironies was that Stewart paid a penalty for speeding on pit road. How did he get back on the lead lap? A caution for debris. Right of your screen, Denny Hamlin, Tony Raines, they had to come in for fuel. They had enough to make the scheduled distance, but not enough fuel for the 2 laps of overdrive that we're going to try to finish this off with.
You're talking about disappointment at the end of this race, and we haven't even gotten to the checkered flag yet. Here's the 11 car sitting there with the chance to win, and we got the 00 car sitting there with a chance for a great finish, and just in a matter of minutes, they're in trouble.
There are still 6 cars out there that have still not been to pit road in basically almost 52 laps, and that includes right now Jamie McMurray in 2nd place, Biffle, Earnhardt Jr., David Reagan, Reed Sorensen, Sterling Marlin. Those guys are still out there on the fuel that's been there for almost.
Owns McMurray's car. Chevy, Ford, Chevy, Dodge up at the front. Finished today. Little doubt of it now that we go into the 2 laps of green, white checker, and we've had some great finishes already.
The one to go right now.
In this season of just 8 races on Fox.
Gordon goes to the inside. He's going to take the lead back.
Jeff Gordon, finally.
I think someone behind him will probably end up making this decision for him.
Well, he's got to have some, he's got to think about the big picture racing, as we like to say.
Jimmy Elledge decided to bring Reed Sorensen to pit road that time and top him off, and we're getting more bad news for those cars that are still out there. They have waved off the one to go, so that's another lap that 4 or 5 of these cars are going to have to run, including Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And the problem with that is now you don't want to run out of gas in front of the field. You don't want to run out of gas with somebody inches away from your rear bumper.
And Jeff Gordon has been told to conserve fuel even though he had topped off earlier, Mike. The reason being Steve Letarte is afraid that some people are going to run out of fuel, get stuck on the racetrack, and this thing is going to keep going until they get that car off the racetrack. So it may be a while before we see the checkered flag, at least according to Steve Letarte.
Absolutely no reason, regardless if you topped off or not to be saving fuel under this caution. You never know what might happen.
I think it's just an interesting bunch of cars at the front of the field right now.
If you've got questions, ask Tom Jensen. He's our answer man. Log on to foxsports.com on MSN, keyword answer. Just don't ask him who's going to win. We've got a few laps to wait to find out.
You can remember what happened behind them, too, and we're getting ready to settle it, boys.
We're going into overdrive, folks. Green, white, checker to finish it off in Talladega.
If you're going to get Jeff Gordon, you got to get him now.
Yes,
you
sir.
Cannot let him get up to speed,
regardless of where the start finish is.
I tell you.
But Jeff Gordon can't get a big restart and get away from the pack because then they'll draft on by him.
I think McMurray is going to try to jump all over him like a frog on the June bug.
Green flag. Johnson to the inside.
And there goes Kurt Busch in the 2 car with him, pushing him. They're going to trap McMurray in the 26 on the high side.
Boy, I'll say, look at him fan out. High, low. Somebody help me. Oh.
There goes Stewart, the 20 to the high side with no help. They're 3 wide off turn 2.
Trouble. It's over.
There's the caution. There is the caution right there. Only one attempt at this green-white checker.
And Stewart has crashed while everyone lifted for the caution flag.
And we certainly know that Jeff Gordon, the 24 car, was leading this race at the time of caution. Now, one thing that differs from determining the race, they crossed the last loop for the finish of the race.
The wreck was behind him, but as the caution flew, a lot of people checked up.
Let's see what happens. There's Tony on the high, up on the outside. They see a wreck behind him.
McMurray.
Somebody got into the back of David Gilliland in that 38 car as well, which I think was all part of that equation right there.
Boy, and then there, you see down here where Tony hits the wall, there's no safer barrier there. You can see it stops at that opening back there. That's a hard driver lick. Oh, here we go. Here we go. 26 is there. The 38.
The silver car.
The 38's kind of coming up, and McMurray's kind of caught in a trap.
Yeah, I mean, I know Tony's upset with Jamie right now. I'm not sure Jamie could do a whole lot about that.
Checkered flag waves on Jeff Gordon. His 77th career NASCAR Nextel Cup victory. Jimmy Johnson second, Kurt Busch is third unofficially. Jamie McMurray, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Daytona winner Kevin Harvick, Gilliland, Stremme, Newman, and Truex, the top 10. You'll see the unofficial running order across the top of your screen.
Well, I guess the fans didn't listen to Junebug because they see a lot of debris flying out on the racetrack. I just think that Jeff Gordon winning Jeff Gordon's just on a roll this year, guys. He's got all the momentum. Everything's going his way. He's had 4 poles. He's going to be hard to handle all this year.
And remember, this win right here, that's 10 more bonus points in his bank account, making 20 now to add to his 5,000 points when we get to the chase.
Chevy congratulates Jeff Gordon, winner of today's race from Chevy, an American Revolution. A wild finish in Talladega as Biffle Sadler crash coming out of turn 2 along with Sauter, and Tony Stewart gets turned to the inside wall. Our Allstate Good Hands driver is Jeff Gordon, taking the lead at lap 185 from Jamie McMurray just prior to David Rudimann's engine going up and the final caution coming out. So on behalf of Jeff Gordon, Allstate will donate $1,000 to the Urban Youth Racing School. Allstate, official insurance sponsor of NASCAR. Are you in good hands? This fellow is. Dick Berggren is in victory lane.
And we've seen Jeff Gordon now in 77 victory lanes, but this may be his most enthusiastic ever. High fives for the crew. 77 wins, the 77th coming on Dale Earnhardt's birthday. Your reaction?
I'm overwhelmed. I mean, we just had so many things working against us other than this race car. This DuPont Chevrolet was unbelievable today, but I never dreamed we were going to win that race. You know, towards the end there, we were just so far back. Had too many guys, good guys we had to pass, and you know, I just didn't think we'd get 77 here, and I think there's a lot of people out there that didn't want us to. I've never caused a riot before winning, but you know, well, maybe once or twice, but this is awesome. I'm just so proud of this whole entire team to get here to victory lane. You know, back to back. You know, to do it at Phoenix in the Impala, and then to do it here in the Monte Carlo. Unbelievable day.
What's with the fans throwing stuff? What's going on?
I don't know. I thought Junior had more power than that, though, because I thought they were going to throw toilet paper. That's what he asked him to throw, and I saw maybe one roll, but I don't know. You know what? There's a lot of fans out there that are big Earnhardt fans and probably didn't want to see this broken. And I know there's a lot of my fans out there as well. And so I appreciate their support, and I appreciate the enthusiasm and you know, the opinions of all the fans out there. So what are you going to do? You know, we're here to win. And Steve Letarte, all the guys in this DuPont Chevrolet, they did the job to get it done today. And I got to thank Pepsi, Nicorette. I forgot to thank Sparkle last week, and want to thank them. You know, GMAC, everybody that makes this thing happen, Pepsi and of course DuPont. That they're so awesome to be with us for 15 years. A lot of fun.
Congratulations on a great drive on a great day. Mike Troy.
Dale Jr. said he hated his fans throwing anything on the racetrack, but if you had to throw something, throw a roll of toilet paper. Nobody ever had to have stitches getting hit with a roll of toilet paper in the back of the head. During pre-race, the fans were admonished here by Grant Lynch, the president of the Speedway, that anyone throwing things on the track at the end of the race would be arrested. And it was encouraging to see sheriff's deputies handcuffing and leading out some people who disrespected the sport and Jeff Gordon's win.
When you're pre-warned and you do it anyway, that's asking for trouble if you ask me.
The thing about it, though, we knew if you won this race, you were going to have to beat the Hendrick cars. They end up 1-2. But give a call out the Penske racing. They finished 3rd and 9th. And how about Dale Earnhardt Incorporated on Dale Earnhardt Day? Dale Earnhardt Jr. finishes 5th. Martin Truex Jr., his teammate, finishes 10th.
The 12 car didn't even have a fender on the right front.
Still finished top 10.
Or a cow closeout.
or some other part, yeah.
First win from the pole at Talladega since 1998, and the 4th straight win by Hendrick Motorsports in the spring Talladega race. Krista?
He was talking in Phoenix, and then when he did talk, said some things about the way NASCAR was officiating. And in a nutshell here, how did Jeff Gordon, and again, Hendrick Motorsports dominating here, and Jeff Gordon, where did he win this race?
Right between his ears. Jeff Gordon is a smart race car driver. Experience comes into play, and you can say whatever you want to. He learned a lot from the great Dale Earnhardt. From racing against him and losing to him several times, he knew when to make the move, and he made the right way. He kept fighting that bottom, and he made the pass.
And Jeff Gordon, as we check the unofficial results, telling me that also handling boos and fans who were angry or upset with him. He said Dale Earnhardt told him, hey, it's better to have them passionate one way or the other. They're not saying anything when you're out there.
At least they know you're there.
That's the problem. Well, we know the drive for 5. Jeff Gordon with 4 Nextel championships, or actually I should say NASCAR championships, wants a Nextel Cup. And so far, through 9 races, he's done a pretty good job of
got about a little over
pace.
200-point lead by the way we calculated it up earlier, that he's looking strong early on. And if they keep this momentum going, he and Steve Letarte communicating, he's going to be hard to beat.
Rosie O'Donnell of NASCAR. What will he say later this week? Want to wish Darrell Waltrip and Jeff Hammond good luck at their Emmy nomination. All those broadcasters who were nominated, I was not one of them. I kid. I care. Thanks for watching NASCAR on Fox. Have a great week. All right.
You know, of all the cars you think would have pitted under this caution, Jeff Gordon sitting there spewing water, don't you think they would have come in and tried to cool it down?
I think there's nothing they can do. I think they've decided we're going to run it. If it blows up, it blows up.
You'll see right here now, you'll see the 48 car pulled down to pit. Looks like the 24 is going to go with him, but he got back out on the racetrack before that commitment cone that Carl Edwards did not get back earlier in the race.
From the Goodyear blimp, here's how it looked.
Boy, you can see that steam pouring out of that 24 car. That just can't last. I don't know if that can last to the end of the race or not.
And it was just reported the 12 stayed right in the tire tracks of Jeff Gordon. You notice Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 stayed out as well.
It's got to last 22 more laps.
Yeah, Mike, just listening to Jeff Gordon and Steve Letarte, Jeff said water is spewing out of this thing. I don't know if it's going to make it. Also want to point out that when the caution came out, Steve Letarte said, stay out, stay out. I've been wrong before, I may be wrong now, but let's stay out. And Jeff Gordon never questioned his decision. He has total confidence in his young crew chief.
Now, Steve, his best friends may be those other cars that stayed out. We talked about Ryan Newman, Dale Earnhardt Jr., but Sterling Marlin, Mark Martin, and Martin Truex Jr. also stayed out. So there's several cars between the 24 and the 48 right now.
So guarantee you, with his situation and everything the way it is, I'd have stayed out too. I think that's a great call. I think that's going to really pay off.
Jimmy Johnson, the first car out of the pits, will restart 7th.
He's out front. He's going to have clean air. That's going to be real crucial to getting that thing to stay cool enough to make it to the end.
Jeff Gordon working on what could be his 7th. Let's set you for this restart. We have 20 laps to go. Jeff Gordon, who came in here as the point leader, is the race leader in his DuPont Chevrolet, which is overheating. Ryan Newman trying to break a long drought to victory lane in the Penske Altel Dodge is 2nd. Dale Earnhardt Jr., the Budweiser Chevy, for DEI 3rd. Sterling Marlin for Ginn Racing in the Waste Management Chevy is 4th. Mark Martin, another Ginn car, the Army Chevrolet, 5th. Nice job by Martin Truex to fight his way back up in the top 10. He is 6th in the Bass Pro Shop Chevy from DEI. Jimmy Johnson, the first car out of the pits on this caution. The Lowe's Chevy is 7th. Matt Kenseth, the DeWalt Ford, is 8th. Clint Boyer, the pole sitter, the Jack Daniels Chevy, is 9th. And Denny Hamlin in the FedEx Chevy is 10th. Here we go, 19 laps to race.
Darrell, I'm not so sure that Jeff Gordon didn't make a smart move there. Let Kevin Harvick go. He's 2 laps down. I'm not going to sit here and fight him. And because Jimmy Johnson right now, he's backed up by a bunch of lap cars back there in that 48 car.
Yeah, but if I was Jeff, I'd want that clean air, man. I'd want all the air I could get on my grill. I wouldn't want anybody in front of me throwing anything up in front of me, making it worse.
Caution will wave. What Kevin Harvick wanted to see, but not what Jeff Gordon wanted to see.
Not what Steve Letarte wanted to see.
Dadgum. Nothing's going my way today.
And Darrell, the thing about it is those guys that stayed out, they've made their bed now. They're committed.
Yeah.
Pack your pit stuff up.
Here's another thing that worries me about that 24 car. I don't see any more steam.
Well, that either means there's no more water.
You don't need to run, guys. Shut it off.
Or it's cooled down.
Blowers, anything you don't need. Every amp jaw hurts them.
Wondering about electrical draw.
For the fan, leave the electric fan running. I'm just saying, you know, tire blowers, all that stuff, please.
Watch some of this 3-wide racing we just had. Desperate men do desperate things.
Uh-oh, it's back steaming again. Stanley is steaming again.
But you know what, guys, in their defense, they're doing exactly what they need to be doing. Just stay out there and run the thing. I mean, no matter what, he's not going to lose the points lead, maybe even increase his points lead if this thing will get to the end.
Heck yeah, he's got a 200-point lead. It's not about points today.
Free pass to Kevin Harvick. Let's see if there's any steam rising down at the Hollywood Hotel.
Right, there's always something hot going on down here, Mike. In fact, 9 top 10 finishes for Jeff Gordon this year. Part of the reason he is the points leader and has finished every lap along with Matt Kenseth, the only other driver to do that. That may be in jeopardy the way his car's looking. You were watching Casey Mears' car overheat as well.
Yeah, I was watching Casey Mears' car, and what happened to him when they came in the pits, they started to put some water in, and next thing you know, it wound up, basically breaking the engine right there on pit road. David Stremme had the same issue, but the good thing about it is he's at least still steaming, so that means there's some kind of water still in that engine, and that's the key thing right now. Larry was talking about it, Darrell was talking about it. As long as you're making some steam, that means there's at least some water in there to boil.
Well, as Mike said, when it wasn't there for a moment ago, it's like maybe we're out of the water.
Well, the thing is that when it cools down, like I keep saying, he keeps sticking his nose out, even out behind the pace car, trying to get as much cool air to it as possible, and that's going to be what's going to make the difference right now in this 24 car. If he can get on down there toward the end, he might be able to hang on, but as Steve Letarte's already said, the die's been cast. We got to let it roll, baby. We're just going to stick out there and run it till it breaks.
I mean, you've got the Hendrick cars who have dominated the new car, NASCAR's car to box on Saturday, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, in high definition. It's a rivalry weekend. Yankees and Mets. Also, White Sox and Cubs. You can check local listings for the game and start time in your area. Remember, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. The pregame show, Jeannie Zelasco, Kevin Kennedy with all the baseball news. So, Jeff, let's take a look. If it's not a Hendrick car, we talked about this at the start of the broadcast. Who would it be?
Well, right now, you got to believe that Ryan Newman's in the best place, and then followed by Dale Earnhardt Jr., because Ryan's been so good all day long, and he's going to be putting a ton of pressure on Jeff Gordon right now. But Dale Earnhardt Jr., I know he wants to win so bad after what happened this week, so he may be driving like a man possessed.
And not a single file restart at this point. Let's rejoin Darrell, Larry, and Mike.
Perfect timing for Kevin Harvick. He passed the leader on the last.
The penalty for Edwards and the problem in the pits for Stewart, but they're both going to make it back to the top 10, look like, as we go green, and Jeff Gordon takes off.
And he cleared that lap down car of Jeff Green in the 66. Now Ryan Newman will clear him. Still with Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jimmy Johnson stacked behind him. Now they'll clear him down the backstretch.
Look at Hamlin.
Is coming.
And Dave Blaney's not going to make the finish of this one.
Nope.
They've stopped twice to add water, and now...
And if I was Jeff Gordon, I'd be standing on it with both feet because that 48 is coming.
This is where you want that 110% now.
That's right. Don't hold anything back.
This is where you want Jimmy Johnson's fresh tires right now.
I mean, Jeff Gordon just ran within 1/10 and a half of the fastest lap that he's run in this race. He just ran a 30.86. Jimmy Johnson 30.87. 11 laps to go.
Carl Edwards went 3 wide.
And right now, the best friend that Jeff Gordon has, not his teammate, it's Ryan Newman, that 12 car.
It's going to be too little too late. Here goes the 48. He's going to look under the 12. He's got a run on him this time, I believe.
Tell you what, the 24 car's worst nightmare may not be Ryan Newman or Jimmy Johnson. It may be Denny Hamlin if he can get by these two guys.
Into turn 3, or to turn 1 down here, Hamlin goes by the 12. Now can he chase down the 24? I don't think he can.
7 laps to go. Newman trying to hold on to third against Johnson. Kenseth closing in, and Carl Edwards and Tony Stewart.
Big Daddy and the Stanley Steamer are just checking on out.
Right now he's in that clean air.
He's right where he needs to be, Larry. That was the best call he could make. Get me out front, give me clean air.
6 to go.
And that time, pretty much Jeff Gordon in the 24, Denny Hamlin in the 11, their times mirrored each other. He's about 2 3/4 seconds behind the leader.
Ford side by side.
Let me tell you, I've seen Jeff Gordon when he was on a roll like he is right now. Don't ever bet against him. Reminds me of back in the early 2000s there when he was winning all those races, late 90s.
Now, guys, that time Denny Hamlin beat Jeff Gordon by almost a half a second that lap, but I just think the laps are going to run out. There'll be 4 to go when they get back to the stripe. The last thing Jeff Gordon wants now, though, is a caution.
11's going to run out of time. And then 24 is going to run out of water, but it's going to be all about the right time for the 24.
You saw the interval closing, but with 4 laps to go, Hamlin would have to be half a second quicker per lap, and he is not.
He's making some gains, but it's just, I think Jeff's just being pretty careful right now. And look at Jeff's team, man. I mean, can you imagine that thing sitting there on the pit road, burning up the way it was? And here he is. He's probably going to win this race.
He pretty much has clean racetrack in front of him.
Don't worry about that mirror. 3 more, you got it, buddy. 3 more, you got it. Just out that windshield.
There you go. Great advice.
Talk to him, Letarte. Talk to him.
Yeah, Mike, like you said, he needs about a half a second lap. Right now, all he's getting is about 2 to 3/10 a lap.
And Denny Hamlin, who led the most laps today, 179, the most laps by far, and who won the Busch race, may fall a bit short as Jeff Gordon.
Shannon's watching behind you, buddy. 2 more. You're beating him.
Takes 2 to go.
Keep digging, buddy.
Everybody, keep digging, keep digging. You can just turn that on everybody's radio.
David Gilliland slow in the back straightaway.
Yeah, he went by here blowing up.
A lot of smoke.
Boy, Hamlin is going to get so close, but that's just all he's going to be able to do is get close.
Carl Edwards has caught Ryan Newman, and that's a battle for 4th place.
Penalty.
A lot of smoke for Gilliland, no caution.
White flag in the air. 1 to go.
1 more, buddy.
Oh, man. Can you just... Denny Hamlin sitting there. He's so close. Why couldn't there be 5 more laps?
I mean, he is closing ever so fast, but it's just not going to be enough.
He's going to be there, but that's it. He's going to run out of time.
Stanley Steamer running just fine.
Yes,
make it to the finish line.
Look at that thing coming across. Look at that steaming, still steaming.
Jeff Gordon and the DuPont Chevrolet win at Darlington. Hamlin second, Johnson third, and Newman holds off Carl Edwards for 4th by 2 car lengths. What a drive by Tony Stewart to get back to 6th.
And look at Jeff Burton, who pretty much was just barely...
Never give up, man. Never give up.
It's exactly right. Never give up. But Jeff Burton, who fought all day long to get back to the top 10.
That's the man right there. I tell you, I love that guy. He is on it.
It is Jeff Gordon's 7th Darlington victory. His 4th straight top 3 finish here. His 3rd win of 2007, and make that 3 out of the last 4 races.
And you know what? There was a time when I didn't know if Steve Letarte and Jeff would ever be on the same page. But man, now that they are, woe be unto everybody else.
She's still steaming.
I got to figure that out. I never saw a car steam like that and finish a race. That thing's been doing that, Larry, for the last 40, 50 laps.
Like you said, as long as it's steaming, it's still got water in it. That's a good thing.
You don't see that very often. Smoke coming out of the tires and the radiator all at the same time.
In 5 NASCAR races with the new car, the Impala, Jeff has finished in the top 4 in every one of them, as he scores his 78th career Nextel Cup victory.
And you know what? An attaboy to our fans here at Darlington. Not only did they weather the storm last night, they're role models for our fans at Phoenix and Talladega.
Jeff Gordon will steam his way to victory lane, and so will we. Right after this.
Man, great job. Hey, I got to say thanks to all the guys at the engine shop, man. I can't believe that thing lasted. Unbelievable.
What a day for Jeff Gordon. And what a win for the whole Hendrick Motorsports team. Chris Devota's in victory lane.
As Jeff Gordon is on the cell phone here in victory lane, Mother's Day weekend, and he is the one who woos the lady in black. He was shaking his head in bewilderment as he pulled into victory lane. And his DuPont Chevrolet actually gave a pop as it entered victory lane. You're Old Faithful at this track, and this car was Old Faithful. It was a geyser out there. Can you believe that it lasted?
That's the way you win races right there. What an awesome race team. These guys in this DuPont Chevrolet Impala. And obviously the first people I got to thank is the guys at the Hendrick Engine Shop, because there's no way that thing ever should have made it. I mean, we were pegged on all the gauges. You know, when you see the water pressure go up that high and it's spewing out water, there's no way that thing should make it. We knew temperature and all that was going to be a real issue here at Darlington. We had our hands full today. I'll tell you what, it wasn't pretty, but there at the end we had a great car. Just didn't have the track position. Jimmy Johnson had it, and those guys came in the pit. You know, it's just a great call by Steve Letarte. What an amazing year we're having. You know, this is so much fun. I'm just having a blast. I got to thank DuPont and Pepsi and Nicorette and, you know, GMAC, all the folks at Georgia Pacific. And, you know, it's just, man, we're just having a lot of fun right now. Quaker State as well. It's just unbelievable when you win races like this.
And you had the cell phone in the car. Who were you talking to? What was the call?
Oh, that's the boss man. The boss man, you know, it's so awesome to get a chance to talk to Rick and Victor Lane. Wish you were here, buddy. And I think he's got to be extremely proud. You know, he prides himself on our engines, not just horsepower, but reliability. And that was a true reliability test of Hendrick engines.
And we were listening in. He told Rick Hendrick the same thing he told us. That is the way you win races.
Thanks, Chris. To never give up. That's how you win at Darlington. It's how you get.
You know, Mike, I thought the day of dominance was over. You know, I thought with parity and this new car, I didn't think we'd see one driver win 10, 12, maybe even more races. Jeff Gordon is on a trail this year to win a lot of races and run away with this championship. So this new car is playing right into their hands, looks to me like. And his car is red hot, and nobody else's is duly squat.
And don't forget, he's banking those bonus points, 10 points per win, getting to the chase for the Nextel Cup, the final 10 races.
Already 3 wins for Jeff Gordon. He had only 2 all of last year. Other drivers may not have handled that car overheating so well in the final stages.
Well, I think he and Steve Letarte right there. I mean, Steve Letarte told him to stay out. He didn't question him. They had the confidence in the engine program, and Jeff does what he does best. When you put the pressure on him, he hit his marks when he counted. He knew Denny Hamlin was coming, but he did not, I guess you might say, wilt under the pressure.
And Steve Letarte, his young crew chief, turns 28 years old tomorrow, and early happy birthday to him. Overheating water that Jeff Gordon was able to ride through and capture the checkered flag. And these are the point standings at the moment. Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, as we said, and they came in. Jeff certainly came in as the leader.
For an opportunity to kind of like climb back front and get in that coveted 12th position.
In 2 weeks, we'll be at the Coke 600 in Charlotte on Fox. Next week, baseball, Saturday, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. Some great matchup. Producer Dot Landis, whose son Barry is our producer. Ruth Zions, whose son Richie Zions is the co-producer.
I'd like to say hello to my mother, Nancy. Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Chris Myers for our entire crew. Thanks for being a part of NASCAR on Fox.
And here they come.
So Jeff Gordon dives onto pit road.
Boy, if this thing stays green, this is gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt these guys.
Yeah.
And it was.
Come on down. Come on down.
Ralph.
Well, all of a sudden things went very bad for the 24, and Jeff Gordon must think it's really bad because he's been driving the majority of this race without brakes. But he said, all of a sudden, I turned the car and it is so tight, it just slides up the racetrack. He finally had to come in, Marty. Ralph, talk to me.
Well, what I'm seeing, let's talk about this strategy again, especially as far as Jeff Gordon, the 24 car, and Casey Mears, the 25. They had to make that green flag stop back on 82. They knew they were not even close to being able to get to halfway. But what I'm seeing with guys like Ryan Newman, Martin Truex Jr., Tony Stewart, a lot of our leaders, they were on pit road at lap 65. I don't know that they can make it to halfway. Right now, with looking out over turn 3 and over the tunnel turn, rain very close. Actually, the 24 car and the 25 may be in the catbird seat because they know now they can make it to halfway.
Okay. Are you just making that up, Larry?
No, absolutely not. I've been working my calculator, man.
Yeah, okay.
You don't agree with that strategy. I mean, don't you think they should have come in?
Well, I definitely question it, but here's the thing. I talked about this earlier. You can make a green flag stop here, as they did, and stay on the lead lap. What these guys need right now, you know, even if we get a caution here in the next little bit for an accident or debris, they're going to probably stay out and get this track position back. What I'm saying is, guys up there leading the race right now, I don't think can make it to halfway.
No, but okay. But what they need is for the yellows or whatever to fall perfectly for this to work out for them. And I mean, to me, it's just surprising that they were going to make that kind of a gamble, not knowing where if you could make it to halfway or if some guys could make it to halfway.
But just remember, when you got a points lead like Jeff Gordon's got right now, you can afford to take a little bit of a gamble.
And that's a good point, Larry. That's a good point. When you've got the points lead he has, you can afford to have a 28th or 29th place finish. You don't have to worry about popping them off in the top 10 all night long. But I think, you know, when you look at it, if they are, let me just say this. If they made that call from information they have, and they're that smart, I'm not even coming to the races the rest of the year. Because I'm telling you what, that is a phenomenal call. If Steve and the guys from the 25, if they laid that out and said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to stay out, run an extra 10 or 12 laps. We're going to pit, and we know those other guys can't make it to halfway. And then we're going to be right there at halfway, and guess what? We're going to get rain, and this race is going to be over with, and we're going to be the winners. And if they've got that much information at their disposal, I can't race against that.
They're way ahead of us.
I cannot race against that.
Marty, Jeff Gordon told me earlier today, he says, you know, we haven't always been the fastest race car this year, but sometimes we've just been the best and in the right position at the right time to get the win. And right now, they are pushing hard to catch Carl Edwards in that 99. Their strategy is working out just the way they had hoped. They are 2 laps away from halfway, and they are telling him, go as hard as you can. You got the better car. You're the better driver. Go get this guy. Go get us another win.
So, Kyle, if you don't go to Michigan next week, what do you do?
Jeff Gordon and those guys may have put themselves in that position.
Hey, guys, I want you to look at the scoring monitor and notice the 99 has really slowed their pace down. He's running almost a second slower than Jeff Gordon. Oh, by the way, I think he's on pit road. So here's what I want you guys to do is look at the scoreboard, look at the skies, and look who's leading right now.
Close Larry's mic, please.
Larry, we're not arguing with you. All we're saying is if they knew that going in and they made that call going in, like Kyle said, that's brilliant.
But just remember, this is the same group that made a green flag pit stop at Phoenix and kept the lead of the race as the caution came out.
Hey, Larry, wasn't he overheating when he won at Darlington or something, too?
Hey, when it's your year, it's your year.
And I'll tell you, coming up on halfway, but you might have heard over the air the thunder. There was a huge flash of lightning,
and then the roar of thunder, the rumble of thunder over the roar of the cars.
Bill, what you heard was not the thunder, but the cheer from the pit down here in Jeff Gordon's crew, because when he went by and they heard that thunder as well, they said, we told you, we got it, keep it going. And remember, they're doing this without good brakes.
99 laps are complete. Working lap 100, halfway next time by.
I'll tell you what, he's got to still run hard, because he's got Ryan Newman and Mark Truex second, third right now, who are running quite a bit faster laps than Jeff Gordon, and there they are. They're about a half of a second. Both those cars were half a second faster than Gordon that last lap.
And Larry made a great point. What was so exciting there was that Carl was going slower so he could win the race, hopefully, and with his strategy. And these guys were really hustling so they could get up front and try and win the race. Marty.
Well, guys, remember, too, these cars have to pit about lap 114. Casey Mears among them, so they don't have a very big window here. They need rain, and they need it fairly quickly if this is going to work out.
Now, Larry McReynolds has another whole strategy for that, I assure you.
But unlike most racetracks, 114 or 115 is 10 or 15 minutes away. It's not instantly like it is at a Martinsville or a place like that. So there's some time here, not only lap-wise, as far as being 10 or 12 laps, there's a time element here. So if it's going to rain, I'm telling you, man, it may blow past. Who knows? That's the kiss of death. It's getting ready to rain any minute now that I said it may blow past. But I'm going to tell you, the 1 and the 12 car, Newman and Truex Jr., have run down the 24 and the 25. I'm going to tell you, when this race is over with and you ask these drivers.
64 behind you, got a 2-second lead.
You hear him giving Jeff information right there.
I'm not sure he's not using rains to help him save some of that fuel mileage.
Especially
drafting a little bit.
Drafting a little bit, running that straight line.
The rain was to come. This race would be official. Lindsay.
Crew Chief Kevin Mannion did believe that
it's about everything, and when it all comes together, it makes for such an exciting race.
It's a high-speed chess game, and guess what? Right now, Jeff Gordon is in the driver's seat at Pocono. You're watching NASCAR on TNT. The caution is out at Pocono for rain. And I want to tell you, it was razor close. There are 12 scoring loops around this track. It reverts to the previously passed loop. And it's going to be close between Jeff Gordon and Ryan Newman.
Okay, here you see Newman. This is in between turn 1 and 2. And it's raining hard right here. I think that's why Gordon jumps out of the gas.
And Newman charging hard.
And right here is about where the caution came out. And you see Newman just let off and let him have it. And there's a scoring loop right there. And Wally, they were showing a shot. You can see the rain right here. Yeah. This is a shot they showed, and Wally picked it out the lap before. Like Wally said, it is raining hard over there. And when they got back over there, that's it, man. And if it rains, they're not going to ride around under caution. So we're not going to get to a 114 or a 115 and have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Because when it's here, it's here. Yeah. And they're not going to get this place dry again if it rains that much.
And that was a good call by NASCAR, because
we got to come at 114.
I'll tell you what, you could wad up a lot of cars going into that corner when as hard as it was raining.
That is the worst corner in the world to get wet in that turn in the tunnel corner. And you heard them say 114, we can go to 114. So that's their mark. That seems to be everybody's mark. I think Larry made a great call on that. Larry said 114. So when you look at it, that's where it's at. Let me just go on record once again and say, if it rains this thing out, Jeff Gordon, I would officially like to announce my retirement from the sport of NASCAR auto racing, okay? Because I cannot compete against that. That's phenomenal.
Amazing. Time for our Subway Pit News Report, and here's Ralph Shaheen.
Bill, Ryan Newman has no idea how close he came to winning this race, because not only did he come awful close to making that pass, but Jeff Gordon had just come on the radio just before that pass was attempted and said, the tires are shot, I'm done, I've got nothing left. They said, hang in there, and the caution flag came out, and Jeff Gordon holds on to the lead. This thing would not have made it another half a lap with Jeff Gordon out front. As you said earlier, sometimes when it's your year, it's just your year, and everything goes your way. No brakes, no tires, and you're still leading when maybe that last caution comes out to help take you to the checker.
See how it all plays out.
Yeah, you know, if it comes across here, if it just rains over there, they may be able to dry part of it out. But if it soaks the racetrack again, you know, we saw how long it took us.
I know I'm wearing you out.
Keep conserving that gas. I know I'm wearing you out. That's Letarte talking to me. Look how hard it's raining.
Oh, yeah.
Forget it. My goodness,
Marty. Oh, sorry. Marty, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say now the dilemma, who pits and who doesn't. Ryan Newman came on the radio when his crew asked him that, and he said, guys, I want to go for the win and not track position, but the win may be a moot point at this point. It looks like it's raining a little too hard over there, fellas.
Yeah, again, the whole track doesn't look like it's...
That's just that one place. It's just that one place. But it's soaking wet where that one place is now. And if it only rains on that one area of the racetrack, that one corner, and we've seen it here before, if it only rains on that one corner, yeah, they will dry this racetrack. I think when Jeff saw the 12 car coming that hard and he caught him, Jeff knew from the brake issue he could not get in the corner as hard as he wanted to, and the 12 car was going to dive bomb him when he got to the tunnel turn. And Jeff had already given him the position and then realized, oh, maybe I need to go again.
Larry, you still with us?
Well, I know Steve Letarte is wearing Jeff Gordon out right now about conserving fuel, because what he's saying is in about 8 to 9 laps he has to come to pit road for fuel. But I think the deal is, under caution, he can run a lot further than that. So I don't think we have an issue here. He can probably run another 10 or 15 laps at the pace they're running right now, because Kyle Wally, you guys know, he can kick it up in neutral. He can do a lot of things to conserve fuel at this pace. Looks like to me they're possibly bringing him down pit road right now.
Larry, let me just say this for the record. Drivers can't do anything. It's all crew chiefs. I'm
well,
seeing
I've
that
been
now
trying
from
to
this
tell
side.
you guys that for years.
From this side, I realize that now.
Listen, McReynolds got a big enough head. Let's not get crazy.
Ralph is with the crew chief.
That is Steve Letarte. Steve, that's some incredible strategy. How concerned are you right now about fuel?
Well, now that we're red flagged, I'm not too concerned with fuel, but I mean, to everyone at DuPont Chevrolet, they fight year in and year out, week in and week out. We didn't have a very good car. We still missing some stuff on the brakes, but he drove his tail off, and you know, if we get a little lucky with the weather, maybe we'll get some wind.
Now, is this a strategy that you've had written down in your notebook, or is this something you just dreamed up as the race unfolded?
No, I wish you could plan for strategies like this. Actually, I got to give credit to my car chief, Jeff Mendering, my engineer, Kane Replogo. Both of those really come up with the idea. It was a wonderful idea, and you know, those guys on top of the pit box is a lot of the reason we're running well tonight.
Steve, you had a terrible day with brakes. You had problems with tires. You're down low on fuel. You're not supposed to win this thing. Does that mean you guys are going to be a real strong contender for this championship because everything just seems to be rolling your way?
I don't know, but that probably means we'll win it, because we haven't won any race that we've been the best car this year. You know, Jeff Gordon did a wonderful job at Darlington, and we got a little lucky at Talladega, so hopefully the luck will hold out here.
That's one that if it wasn't written in his book before the day started, it will be written in there now, Bill.
Thank you, Ralph. Cars have been brought to pit road, and they will display the red flag. Again, here's how close it was, and this is what they were talking about with Gordon apparently having issues.
Well, don't forget, he feels he's off the tires, and it's raining back there. So, I mean, he figures he's going to wreck this thing, and I mean,
and
that's where, yeah.
We're told that freeze right there is when the caution came out. Ryan Newman in second behind Jeff Gordon, and on pit road, Chrissy's reaction. It has been a long time between wins for Ryan Newman.
But you got to feel good for about as good as they've run today. I mean, he had a...
And Dover.
Yeah, and Dover, yeah. Right. So they're turning their deal around.
They have definitely turned it around. That entire group, not only the Ryan Newman and that team, but the two-car also. They've turned a lot of their stuff around. I know Kurt had a bad week this week, but they've turned their stuff around over the last 4 or 5 weeks. That's amazing.
So the car's getting covered up.
And the problem is, you know, we're sitting here, and it's 7 o'clock East Coast time, okay? So they don't have a lot of time, and we saw that it took an hour to dry the racetrack, and, you know, this is going to come down to a time element, and, you know, it's all but over.
Now it's time for our Gillette Fusion Power Phantom mid-race report. We have completed 106 laps. Jeff Gordon has led twice today for 26 laps. And I'll tell you what, the strategy session after this race is going to be something you'll want to listen to. Our Gillette Fusion Power Phantom mid-race report. Marty?
Well, I'm with the probably second most disappointed man here on pit road. I'm sure Ryan Newman is the most.
All right, we're hearing from NASCAR. The race has been called. It is an official race, and Jeff Gordon is the winner. It's his 79th career win, his 4th of 2007, his 4th win here at Pocono.
I think Steve Letart's the winner. I'm not sure Jeff's the winner. I think Steve's the winner.
Marty?
Oh, man, this has been a crazy, anxious moment for these guys waiting this one out. Have you ever won crazy races like this crazy fashion? You win Phoenix because of the pit call. You win today because of the pit calls. Has this ever happened in your career before, Jeff?
You have to remind me. We need John Edwards in the
He's right there.
statistician there. Steve Letarte. You need to be talking to him, not me. He won this race today. We had a great race car, but without track position and without a great risky call like that, I can't believe we just won this race. Wow. I don't know what to say. Woo! Hi, baby.
Let's wrangle the truth. You got to stay here, Jeff. Let's wrangle the truth out of your crew chief. Now, when you left him out there, was that your strategy, or was it just, tell us the truth?
Well, our strategy changed. We had a decent car, but it's so hard to pass here. It just gets spread out. But Shannon called it. He saw some rain clouds coming. He told me to check the radar, and then, we're just shooting for wins. That's our goal. It's 10 more points in the chase. That's all we're trying to do is make the chase and have as many points as we can when we get there.
Do you have a connection somewhere? You know how far the rain was?
No, but when it rains, it pours. We've had years that we can't do anything right, and some years you can't do anything wrong, and you just got to ride the highs when they come, and that's what we're trying to do.
I'm sure it's a lot of fun for you. Now, I don't know if you know what you caused, but you caused Kyle Petty to retire today. He said, I can't keep up with that kind of strategy.
Man, I tell you what, we've had some drama this year on our wins, and when we do it, it's in dramatic fashion. Glad he's up there. I know he's doing a great job up in the booth, and what a great. I know it wasn't a full race, but great way to bring TNT into this year. And man, I'm just so proud of all the guys at DuPont Chevrolet. I think DuPont, Nicorette, Pepsi, GMAC, Quaker State, Georgia Pacific. Just a great way to finish this day out. I never thought we were going to get on the racetrack, so to get out here and have it come down to strategy. You win some this way, you lose some this way, and we won this one today, I guess. That's what they're telling me. I still don't believe it. I don't believe it until I see John Darby or Mike Kelton or something.
Yeah, it's official. We'll get them down here. Jeff, real quick, this is the first win after a big loss for the France family in the sport. I know Bill France meant a lot to you.
Yeah, and I definitely want to, send all of our wishes out to the France family. I mean, Bill and his entire family did so much to get this sport where, we wouldn't be here with these sponsors all over the cars, all the fans in the stands, and be this excited about, pit strategy and wins if this sport wasn't as big as it is. And that would never have been possible without Bill France Jr., without Bill France Sr., and without the France family and Brian and Lisa. I know they're going to continue this sport on, and we're going to play our part to do the best we can to keep it going as well.
Victory Lane, my friend, is that way, okay? All right, Jeff Gordon headed to Victory Lane. He'll walk this time, Bill.
Thanks, Marty. The 4th time in his career that Jeff Gordon has won a rain-shortened race. So Jeff Gordon wins again and maintains his lead in the championship standings.
I think somebody said it earlier. When it's your year, it's your year. Right. I mean, and like Jeff said, you lose a lot of races that way, but these guys can't do anything wrong.
And you're really going to keep coming back, right?
I'm going to keep coming back.
Because they changed their strategy.
They changed their strategy. But I want to say this. Great drivers win dramatic races. Richard Petty is 200th at Daytona with the president there. You've seen Darrell. You've seen Dale Earnhardt Sr. Teams like that put themselves in position. And Jeff and those guys did it today.
Plenty of fun. All right, next week it's NASCAR's Nextel Cup Racing from Michigan. We want you to join us Sunday on Father's Day. Coverage begins at 12:30 with NASCAR on TNT Live.
197 miles an hour. They take the white flag 3 wide. Here comes Tony Stewart up on the high side.
And the white flag is out. It's waving 3 wide.
Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon trying to hang on to the bottom, drafting help from behind with Blaney in the Toyota. Up high, Tony Stewart gets help from Casey Kane.
That's 4 wide down the back straightaway. Hamlin on the inside.
Here comes Gordon on the outside. Jeff Gordon has moved up in front of Tony Stewart to get the push by. Jeff Gordon, a 5-time Talladega winner. He knows how to get it done. He hung at the back of the pack all day long. He pulls up, and Tony Stewart pushes him by as they come down. Jeff Gordon trying to hang on. 2 wide, 3 wide behind him. Gordon on the bottom of the racetrack. Jimmy Johnson second, and Jeff Gordon takes the win at Talladega.
Unbelievable. race at the very end. Man, what a move out of Jeff Gordon. He just threw his teammate out, went for it by himself.
That was impressive.
I knew he had something up his sleeve. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah!
What a win for Jeff Gordon.
Buddy, you did it for us, buddy. You were the man. This team is awesome. Way to hang in there all day. Woo! Man, I'm excited.
He becomes the all-time winningest driver in restrictor plate competition, his 12th win on the plate tracks. Let's go down to victory lane and Alan Bester.
Jeff, how did you get to the front?
I have no idea. This guy right here builds an awesome race car and has put together a heck of a race team. You know, we laid in the back and we didn't want to have to do it that way, you know, but this car is just a lot of unknowns. It's hairy out there, you know, and we just wanted to play it safe until it really counted. And what I don't understand is how I ever got by my teammate, because I was there in behind him and got, you know, a couple pushes, but when I went with the momentum, luckily when I got high and Jimmy tried to block me, the 20 was there, had nowhere to go. He drilled me, and he's the one that pushed me to the front. So, yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to put that rear bumper in front of those other guys' bumper at the right time.
And his teammates right behind him. There's Gordon, Mears, and, of course, Tony Stewart.
And you see the two teammates of Ryan Newman and Kurt Busch up top. Well, guess what? In the bottom lane, they got three teammates lined up. And three are generally better than two. And they're getting hooked up in draft lock. Take a look at the 48 of Jimmy Johnson and all the Hendrick guys right to the front.
4 Dodges up high, 4 Chevrolets down low. And Jimmy Johnson gets pushed right by the 12 car of Newman to take the lead.
Newman and Busch got to figure what just happened right there, man. We were just leading the race. We just got shuffled.
The 25 is basically blocking a little bit right now for the 24. He's got to help his teammates out. He can't move. If he moves, he's going to go to the back of the pack, and then he's got to deal with Tony Stewart, and none of them want to deal with him right now.
They want to win a race, but they also want to win the chase for the next Nextel Cup. Mears looking. Here's Tony Stewart looking to the inside. He shoves Mears up high. Stewart takes a spot away.
And now the game's getting ready to change right now. The top lane with the 12 and the 2 could get hooked back up, but Mears is out of it right now. Back to the bottom. And now they got to worry about the 20 now.
Mears just blinked. He looked to the outside just for 1 second. Tony Stewart took that spot.
Now Jeff Gordon right on the rear bumper. Gordon, who's hung at the back of the pack throughout the day to try to stay safe. Gordon there watching the 20 car.
Here comes Stewart on the outside.
No help right now.
Oh, this is not looking good right now. You see the 12 and the 2 lining up behind Stewart. And they got a lot of momentum on that top side. It's anybody's game right now.
Tony Stewart in the middle there doesn't have a lot of drafting help. Has trying to get back in line. Blaney won't let him. Edwards won't let him. Hamlin won't let him.
Here comes the Dodge surge on the top.
Newman, Busch, Montoya, 3 Dodges hooked up nose to tail, trying to reel in the Chevy brigade on the left side.
Just about the time you thought you had the top lane clear, here comes the top lane back right now. And Jimmy Johnson and Gordon got to deal with the really strong Penske cars right now.
3 laps to go in this crowd of over 150,000 on their feet. Give a call to Tony Raines in that wreck a little while ago, still hanging on to the 96 car. Great job for Tony Raines back there in the DLP Chevy.
Tony Stewart kind of gets shuffled up in the top lane behind Kurt Busch right now. This is the very first time for the COT cars, Andy. I mean, what are these drivers going to do? You know, I never drove one of these cars before, and this is the first time for these guys here. What type of move you want to make, I think, is a big question.
Well, it looks to me like Jimmy Johnson's got it, pretty well in hand, but you got to think that Jeff Gordon's sitting back there. He's making his plans for the last lap here. 2 laps to go.
Right now with the 48 car, Jimmy Johnson leading. On the last lap, he's going to have to throw his teammate away. He's just going to block these guys off. And heck with the relationship right now. When I see the white flag, it's game over, baby. I'm looking after myself right now.
When they tested here, they said, we do not want to be the lead car in the draft because you're a sitting duck. Today, it's worked both ways. You've been able to stay there. You've been passed pretty easily. What are these guys going to do?
That last time by, you saw the 22 car, Dave Blaney, really give a good shove. right in front of Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon has really got a good shove by Blaney that time, and that's what Gordon needed.
Jimmy Johnson doing a great job right here, using that draft to his advantage. He's watching that mirror, keeping that 24 car square in his bumper.
197 miles an hour. They take the white flag 3 wide. Here comes Tony Stewart up on the high side.
And the white flag is out. It's waving 3 wide.
Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon trying to hang on the bottom, drafting help from behind with Blaney in the Toyota. Up high, Tony Stewart gets help from Casey Kane.
That's 4 wide down the back straightaway. Hamlin on the inside.
Here comes Gordon on the outside.
Jeff Gordon has moved up in front of Tony Stewart and to get the push by. Jeff Gordon, a 5-time Talladega winner. He knows how to get it done. He hung at the back of the pack all day long. He pulls up, and Tony Stewart pushes him by as they come down. Jeff Gordon trying to hang on. 2 wide, 3 wide behind him. Gordon on the bottom of the racetrack. Jimmy Johnson second, and Jeff Gordon takes the win at Talladega.
Unbelievable. The car tomorrow. Great race at the very end. Man, what a move out of Jeff Gordon. He just threw his teammate out, went for it by himself.
That was impressive.
I knew he had something up his sleeve. I didn't know what it was.
Steve Letarte said, stay calm. We have another question.
Look at the emotion of Jeff Gordon in the car.
What a win for Jeff Gordon.
Buddy, you did it for us, buddy. You were the man that this team is awesome. Way to hang in there all day. Woo! Man, I'm excited.
And he better be excited. I'd be excited too. All his teammates work together. Help them win that race, guys.
He got the point lead too.
Let's go down to Jamie Little.
Now joined by crew chief Steve Letarte. How about that finish? You guys hung back the whole day. Steve, talk about the plan and how it was executed.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Shaq and everybody on that Lowe's Chevrolet team. We work close together, and it's hard when we come to a place like this because that 48 was going to be hard to beat, but we're all running for a championship. Hopefully we can work together the rest of the season real good. But, it's great. Guys from DuPont Chevrolet did a great job. 550 employees at Hendry Motorsports provided unbelievable speedway cars. Kept our chins up through qualifying, knew we would go in the race, and the driver pulled us through.
You guys had that penalty here on pit road. How did you keep your driver calm and in this game?
That's the beauty of working with a 4-time champion. We usually don't have to keep him calm. We just got to let him know how many laps to go. We got really lucky with the yellow. And we've been seeming to get lucky this year. We need to quit making mistakes so we don't need so much luck. But race 4-10's over. Hopefully we have 6 more good ones.
And Rick Hendrick, the owner down here, pumping his fist in the air. Guys, very happy crowd as they took over the points lead.
Jeff Gordon, folks, led 1 lap all day long. Actually, he led about a third of a lap, but it was the final third on lap 188.
And it was the right one. Right now, he's got a 4-point lead over his teammate, Jimmy Johnson, but Clint Boyer held in there. Clint Boyer still in third in the points.
12th plate victory for Jeff Gordon, his 80th series victory in NASCAR's Nextel Cup, and the first sweep at Talladega. Yes, he won back in April since Dale Earnhardt did it in 2002. Dale Earnhardt Jr. did it in 2002.
Man, what a race. What a racetrack.
It's like they just stayed patient for a long time. And finally, they turned it loose, and they said it's time to run right now.
And here is our Chevy winning moment. Jeff pulls out in front of Tony, and watch this move by the 24 car across the track in front of the 20. Another Chevrolet for Tony Stewart to get that push by in the draft.
And that's when they say it's each guy for himself right there. And Jeff Gordon is shot right out in front of his teammate, Jimmy Johnson, in front of Stewart. And you know what? It kind of worked out because they finished first and second. They didn't get hung out too bad there.
Dave Blaney, great effort, finishing in third in the Toyota. Hamlin fourth, Newman fifth, Mears sixth, and Kurt Busch seventh, with Tony Stewart then back in eighth position. Tony Raines, a great top 10 finish in ninth, and Reed Sorensen in 10th position. Gordon's fifth win in 2007, the first time he's won since the middle of June at Pocono. He becomes the all-time winningest driver in restrictor plate competition, his 12th win on the plate tracks. Let's go down to victory lane and Alan Vester.
And a wide smile on Jeff Gordon's face as he goes to give a big soaked hug to Carl and Rick Hendrick. Jeff, how did you get to the front?
I have no idea. This guy right here builds an awesome race car and has put together a heck of a race team. You know, we we laid in the back, and we didn't want to have to do it that way, you know, but this car is just a lot of unknowns. It's hairy out there, you know, and we just wanted to play it safe until it really counted. And what I don't understand is how I ever got by my teammate, because I was there in behind him and got, you know, a couple pushes, but when the 12 and I think the 2 were on the outside of me, I really was just kind of stuck there. But when they got 3 wide, I said, this is my opportunity. I got pushed from the 22, and I went with the momentum. Luckily, when I got high and Jimmy tried to block me, the 20 was there, had nowhere to go. He drilled me, and he's the one that pushed me to the front. So, yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to put that rear bumper in front of those other guys' bumper at the right time. And I got to thank DuPont Pepsi, of course, this awesome-looking race car. Deborah's here designed it, and we invite all the fans to be a part of this. Hopefully we'll do it again next year. But I don't know where to start, you know. GMAC, Nicorette, all the folks from Georgia Pacific, and Sparkle. Oh, amazing day, man.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. I can keep going if you want. Whoa! Yeah!
He's pumped.
All the emotion here of Jeff Gordon, and he takes a 4-point lead over Jimmy Johnson in second place. Now, we're going to be talking to all these other drivers and be able to get updates from these drivers and what they thought about their race today. What a finish at Talladega. All that and more coming up on SportsCenter over on ESPN. Congratulations to NASCAR Nextel Cup at Talladega race winner and now new chase leader, Jeff Gordon. His 6th win at Talladega. Next week, the chase for the championship continues, and we head to Charlotte, North Carolina. Coming up next, except on the West Coast, ABC's World News or your local news over most of these ABC stations. Once again, what an effort. Jeff Gordon, a winner at Talladega. Thanks for watching, folks. ESPN on ABC.
And he make it on field. Jeff Gordon's got a good handle on the car.
White flag for Jeff Gordon. 1 lap to go. Does he have enough?
Unbelievable. The 07 car, Clint trying to run him down, but doesn't look like Gordon's going to have a problem. His car's stuck good. He's got a half a lap to go.
It's been since 1999 that Jeff Gordon has been able to come home and win at this racetrack. He has not finished a race in 3 years, but folks, tonight, Jeff Gordon wins again at Lowe's Motor Speedway.
It was 13 years ago, Jeff Gordon got his first ever Cup victory here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, at Lowe's Motor Speedway, and tonight he comes through victorious. Jeff, what were those final moments of that race? His beautiful wife Ingrid here. What were those closing moments like for you?
Well, I can't tell you how many times we tried to give this one away. Oh, man, I don't know where to start. You know, just an incredible day for the DuPont Chevrolet team, and I got to thank all these guys. I mean, they just never gave up, you know, and what an awesome day today was. I mean, this is what we've been looking for, is getting us a win in Charlotte. What a great comeback, and I owe it all to those guys right there. Steve Letard, all the guys on this team, everybody at Hendrick Motorsports, engine department, Chastity, we're here at home, so we got to thank all those guys and all the people that work so hard right here locally.
Farther behind than the leaders, that's for sure.
Amy McMurray doing a heck of a job staying in front of Jeff Gordon there, trying to be able to hopefully get a break and get that lap back. He is now on the tail end of the lead lap. He would be the 23rd car on the lead lap as of right now. More on Jeff Gordon. We'll check in with Jamie Little.
Well, Doc, you know, how these guys are running tonight has really surprised this team in the 24. I talked to crew chief Steve Letard earlier today, and he said, you know, we haven't finished the last 5 races here. All we want to do is get 500 miles in. That's our goal. If we finish in the top 15, we're thrilled. But right now they're leading. They can't believe how this car has come around as the race has gone on. It's cooled down. Jeff Gordon maybe taking over for Jimmy Johnson, going to victory lane tonight for the first time, as I mentioned, since 1999.
Well, Dave, I can tell you one thing. That 07 car, it's pretty easy to stay calm when you got a fast car, and he's got one now. But Jeff Gordon, he's a guy who's got a really fast car. About 1/10 of a half faster than anybody in the field right now. He's got clean air right on the bottom of the track, running the fastest way around, and that's where it is.
If we stay green, they have made their final pit stop. They got to get it done on.
Don't act like that.
Well, for Jeff Gordon, this place brought him his first pole and his very first win. That was in 1994. But lately, an awful streak of bad luck. He hopes to turn that around as he is driving for 5 titles.
Yeah, he's had some DNFs, multiple DNFs at this racetrack. But yeah, you're right. He's in the drive for 5. And if we look back over the Chase Series in history, he actually probably could have won 2 more championships. And so this is his year. Jeff Gordon's marching towards that title again.
And right now, he's leading in the points as we get caught up on our 12 Chase drivers as we get up to speed, beginning with Jamie Little.
Well, Susie, last weekend, Jeff Gordon won in Talladega. He only led a third of a lap, and he went to victory lane, and he told us on Thursday night qualifying that was the biggest win of his career. Can he back it up and win here tonight? We'll know in just about 38 laps. Right now, though, he says this car is awesome.
Back up front, the 24 car, Jeff Gordon, and did we see a wisp of smoke from this car?
We've seen a wisp of smoke out of this car almost all night as it gets into the corner. And all that is that tire, when they run these cars in that coil bind setup and traveling so far, that tire rubs the hood or the top of the fender, makes just a little bit of smoke. We see it right there. Nothing to worry about. That's the kind of smoke you don't really worry about.
This guy's had a lot of bad luck here at Lowe's Motor Speedway. He just wants to get this night over with and probably try to stop that bad luck he's had here. 28 laps to go, and boy, he's got this race in control right now. His lap speeds are really good, and he's got to be feeling good about the way this car's handling right now. Look at the lead, such a big lead.
Gordon the leader, Boyer in second, Kyle Busch third.
He's got about 4 seconds to make up on Jeff, so maybe Jeff's pedaling back a little bit and giving some of that lead back. But Kyle Busch is fine.
Here, anything till we get to 10 to go unless somebody's really catching us.
Back up front, less than 20 laps to go. This racetrack very special to one Jeff Gordon. When he started his career in Nextel Cup, this was the place that he got his very first pole in October of 1993. He got his very first win the following spring in May of 1994.
And Jerry, this is a very special place for Hendrick Motorsports also. They're located basically right across the street and down the way. It's just a little bit from this Lowe's Motor Speedway here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and that is something that Hendrick loves when his cars win the hometown.
Jeff Gordon said the win last week at Talladega was sweet for lots of reasons, but it was the first time he was able to go to victory lane and have his wife Ingrid and his new little daughter Ella with him. He was holding the baby up in victory lane. He said, well, what a different experience that was.
I know that was special. I love that shot of victory lane with that little baby in there. I know that means so much to Jeff Gordon. Like he might get a chance to do it again tonight. He can hang on.
You know, just watch that last lap time, Andy. It looks like Kyle Busch couldn't catch him that last lap, like Jeff Gordon outrun him that time. They both were in pretty clean air. They weren't negotiating much traffic at all, so pretty good comparison there.
There's the 24 car making a lap. Got to see sort of the relationship where he was and other cars that are on the racetrack here, as we now have 21 cars on the lead lap. Final car on the lead lap, by the way, is the A car, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah, I really like that shot just a little while ago. I really let the people know how far ahead Jeff was and who he was having the race. Right now, he's got the clean traffic and nobody around him. Man, that's what you want. But as a driver, you're starting to hear the noises now, Andy. Something's going wrong. I'm hearing a vibration. You're talking to your crew chief.
Jeff Gordon's been in this position so many times, though. I think he's seasoned at this. I think he's just doing what he has to do. He's not, like you say, running the middle of the racetrack, not taking any chances around lap cars. He's got, 3 or 4 second lead now that he can play with.
See Kevin Harvick right there in the 29 car moving over for Jeff Gordon. He knows he's not in competition. Harvick's 5 laps down right now, having a horrible night. This night was over.
How much do you let yourself think about the fact that something has happened to him the last 5 consecutive times he's been here? Somehow, something has happened even in the late laps to keep him from finishing. In fact, he hasn't won here since 1999.
I bet he's thinking about all the times that he did win here, and that's what he's getting ready to do tonight. I bet he doesn't even think about those races where he fell out of the race. He's thinking positive thoughts right now.
And Jeff Gordon's thinking, I cannot believe this. I got such a big lead. And now I got to race my brains out again, and Kyle Busch is loving this part.
How about Jimmy Johnson? He's got to be loving it too, because now Jimmy Johnson up to 7th spot, and he'll get a chance to be able to make a charge here in the final 5 or 6 laps.
Oh, man, right now we're showing 12 laps to go, and you know the tensions are high with these drivers. They're thinking, I got another shot, baby.
This is why I like standing up here on top of the grandstand talking about it, not on the pit box.
Now, what's the thinking on the 24 car? Let's check in where Jamie is caught up with the crew chief for Jeff Gordon and Steve Letarte.
Yes, and the whole team was like, oh no, when the caution came out. So Steve, as a crew chief now, these final laps, what do you do?
Hope your stuff's better than the guy behind you. We're going to stay out, stick with it. Our goal's 500 miles. I'd like to win, but 500 miles is our #1 goal. We're in it for the big picture.
You told me today you guys would be happy running top 15 right now. Do you feel like you guys are capable of finishing this thing and getting to victory lane?
I absolutely think we're capable. You know, Jeff's a remarkable talent. He's really carried us all year long. He's carried us again tonight. We haven't had the best pit stops. I don't know if I've made the best pit calls, but hopefully this will be a good one. We'll stay out. Hopefully some of them guys back in the pack will stay out with us. We'll see what happens.
All right, guys, there it is. Doc, he's going to stay out and hope to visit victory lane for the 81st time in his career.
Yeah, look at the windshield, the 24 car. Looks like oil or something on the windshield. Now we're being told there is oil around the racetrack, so they're going to take a little bit to clean this up. They're already dumping down some oil dry way down in turn 1. But that windshield, I mean, how bad?
It's going to be a little bit of a problem because we've heard Steve Letarte say the 24 car's not coming down pit road, so he's got what he's got. Here's the problem with that decision.
Let's listen into Jeff Gordon's radio.
Stuff blown off, scrubbed off, whatever they got to do to get it right. Not like last night on that Busch race.
Now he's looking for a clean racetrack on this restart. He really wants them to clean it up real good. Sounded like he had some problems watching the Busch Series race last night. Track was pretty dirty in 3 and 4, and he doesn't want to have to contend with that.
5 car. Kyle Busch in position to make his move, currently sitting in 2nd position. Let's go down and talk to his crew chief, Alan Gustafson, with Dave Burns.
Yeah, Jerry, and I don't think we have any desperate crew chiefs right now, but one who would like to win your book. You know, obviously, if the 24 wins this thing, it's going to be a great effort for the whole team.
Now, with 10 laps to go, it looks like Jeff Gordon may be able to finally hold on and finish one here at this racetrack.
No, but I'm thinking I can win this thing.
Jeff Gordon looks pretty good sitting out in front, and he's had a good lead, and everything's been going his way, but he's still got a little meat on the bone. We got a few laps to go here, and these are going to be real tension-filled laps because they've put a lot of speedy dry on the racetrack. These guys, where Jeff Gordon's been running that low line, it's going to be a little dirty down there, and I think that Kyle Busch, with that high line he's been running, he's thinking maybe he's got an advantage right here.
What about the 07 car, Clint Boyer? Jerry, he's been liking the top lane a lot. He's been running the top lane, but for like guys like Andy said that love that bottom, they might have to change groups.
Now, what about the fact that Rick Hendrick owns both the 24 and the 5 car, and also, by the way, the 48 car. But Rick Hendrick talking to Jeff Gordon about the 5 car, who's awfully good back behind him.
Jeff, you got a copy, bud? 10-4. Okay, I told him not to wreck you and be careful. You saw he had you let him go. So you'll be smart. Look at the big picture and let's finish this thing.
That's a very wise owner because he understands he's got at least 2 cars, maybe 3 cars in contention, not only for this race, but for a championship.
Okay, Rusty, you're leading the race, or you're leading the points, you're leading the race. You've got a guy hungry behind you without much to lose. What are you going to do?
I'm going to choke him down on the restart and come to the gears as hard as I can and try to get a couple car lengths on him, getting into turn 1 so he can't get on my bumper and make me loose.
Okay.
I got to get away from him.
If he does, he gets under you, what are you going to do? How hard are you going to race him?
Well, I'm going to have to race him pretty hard, but I'm not going to take myself out. But you know what? At this track here at Lowe's, Andy, it's a great question. It's hard to keep him doing that.
And remember, Kyle Busch is not going to be a teammate much longer. He's going to a different team, so how much do you want to play the team cooperation here?
Well, I think that's why Rick Hendrick came on the radio, because he knows that Kyle Busch is hungry and he's going to do whatever it takes for him to get a win for his team.
Yeah, for Rick Hendrick to come along and say, please don't wreck us. That's a pretty bold statement. You know?
Look at these guys. They said, okay, may the best man win.
And we got the boss in our pits here. Let's see what's going on here. Let's go down to the pit studio with Susie Colbert and Brent Doherty. Guys?
You know, I'm going to say for strategy, you have to give an A+ to Steve Letarte, Jeff Gordon's crew chief. Just think of last week, all the patience, sitting, waiting, and then finally leading the last third of the last lap to win it. And then the same thing today. They haven't even finished a race here in 3 years. So the strategy was, let's just make 500 miles. So put the goals a little bit low, not shoot for too much, and then look where he sits.
He is going to get all over Jeff Gordon's bumper, and I'm going to tell you, we are going to have a shootout when this thing goes green. I can't wait. Oh, my goodness, this is going to be great.
You know, in our countdown show, we made such a big deal over Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson being teammates and friends, and, well, they're both going for the title here. How much could that get in the way? And now you're throwing Kyle Busch in the mix, too.
I'm sorry, that was Daytona in July. I said Talladega. Daytona in July. Kyle Busch is in the mix, and like I say, this is going to be a shootout.
Would you almost look at it for him right now like almost nothing to lose? This is his last run with this team.
He has absolutely nothing to lose. Next year, he's in a different uniform, a different team, and he leaves all this behind. But also, let's talk about Jimmy Johnson, he has recovered, come all the way back from 6th position from roughly 28, 29.
Kyle, you got a copy, Kyle? Yo. Jeff says if you look like you got him, he'll let you go. So you guys just be smart, okay? Sounds good. No wrecks, okay? I've had 2 already that were uncalled for. 10-4, buddy, be smart.
Well, that's a pretty good advice right there out of Rick Hendrick, you know. You notice he snuck right there at the very end and said, no wrecks. He didn't say it at the top. He kind of eased that one in. And
he says, I hear you, but I'm going for the win.
Yeah, Rick's a fantastic guy down there coaching his drivers along. And this has got to be a very nervous time for Rick Hendrick, Jerry.
I can remember once at Martinsville years ago when all 3 of his cars wrecked each other in the backstretch of Martinsville. I've never seen him so angry.
And Gordon is very, very concerned about having a clean racetrack. That's what's on Jeff Gordon's mind right now. He wants to get out there. But the good thing Jeff's got, he's got the clean racetrack in front of him. Don't have to race anybody.
The only disadvantage to that is if the racetrack is not cleaned off good enough, the first one to know is going to be Jeff Gordon because he's going to be the first one in there.
Well, you're full of good news, aren't you?
That's why he's so concerned about it.
Well, Andy, you're exactly right. Exactly right. I mean, you're in there and you're going to have to get this track cleaned off. You're the first guy there, and it's not fun sometimes.
Some of the 20s coming in.
However, I mean, when you're running around about a foot off that track, you're going to hit it every now and then, and evidently it slowed this car down somehow. Either the toe end having a problem, or the right front fender being knocked in an 8 car. Definitely went off the pace.
Talk about all-time winners in the NASCAR Nextel Cup racing. The King, Richard Petty, 200 wins. The all-time win leader, got that great win at Daytona. David Pearson, the Silver Fox with 105 wins, back in 2nd spot. Tied for 3rd, Bobby Allison with 84 career wins, who's he tied with? Old DW. 84 wins, along with his 3 titles. Cale Yarborough just 1 back with 83 wins. And who is 6th all-time? How about Jeff Gordon with 80 wins last week at Talladega? And how about his very first career victory? It came here at Lowe's Motor Speedway, May 29th, 1994. The celebration began, and a very young 23-year-old Jeff Gordon overcome with emotion in victory lane by being able to win in NASCAR's major leagues that early in his career.
It's really neat to see how much this sport means to Jeff Gordon. We saw it last week at Talladega. He won that race. He was so excited. I love that emotion.
Kyle Busch has never had a top 5 at Lowe's Motor Speedway. You know, the 07 has never won here. Got his first Cup win at New Hampshire. And by the way, the pole sitter back there, number 12, Ryan Newman, 7 pole positions in 14 races. He's never won here either. His best finish was 2nd. How about some hungry drivers here toward the front of that field?
Tell you what, this thing's running out when I shake it back and forth, so we must not have a lot in there. We got about 12 laps. They got 45. We'll be coming to the outside, about 6 back.
That makes me a little nervous. I'm hearing Jeff Gordon say that when he weaves his car back and forth, it's starting to miss a little bit, so he's a little bit concerned about how much fuel he has in the tank. That'll probably be okay if they get going, but it could stumble on this restart.
I'm going to tell you, one guy I'm really liking where he's running right now, Ricky Rudd. Boy, he's had a good run. The 90s in the 10th position. And behind him, A.J. Allmendinger. We're seeing drivers up there in the top we don't normally see. But I don't like it when a driver says my car's starting to miss a little bit. Won't run right. And he's leading the race. Talk about a lot of tension there.
Steve Letarte looking very poised, composed. I guess you got what you got, Andy. Nothing you can do there for your crew chief to sit there and watch.
It is so frustrating to sit on that box. Nothing you can do. You can't touch the car. It's all in the driver's hands. And you got all this nervous energy. You're trying to figure out what to do with it.
So many questions. What about the racetrack? Does it have enough grip there? You're going to be the first guy to find out. How about that windshield with oil all over it? How much can you see? How about the fuel situation? Is the engine going to sputter? And oh, by the way, is someone going to run over me from behind that really wants to win this, like maybe a teammate or somebody else? And all I want to do is win the race, but I really want to win the chase.
Kyle Busch has got he's always got another gear on these restarts too, so it's going to be nip and tuck here.
We get Jeff Gordon leading the points right now by 39 points over Jimmy Johnson. But Clint Boyer is only 83 behind, and he's thinking, I hope you guys take each other out, and I might be leading this title when it's all over.
I'm betting Clint Boyer is going to commit to the top side of the racetrack right off the bat here and just take what he can get.
But right now, I'm taking a look at the point standings here. Tony Stewart, 220 points behind. We got 3 players right now. The 24 car, Jeff Gordon, 48 of Jimmy Johnson, and the 07 car.
Jeff Gordon has won more on mile-and-a-half racetracks than any other active driver. He has 12 wins on these kind of racetracks. He knows how to get it done. You saw his very first victory came here when he was very young, driving for Hendrick back in '94. So he understands that what you have to do here to hold off some folks in the final laps.
I don't think I'd want anybody else driving my race car but Jeff Gordon in this situation. He knows how to get this done. Not saying it's a done deal, but he's the guy I would love to have in my car in this situation.
No, I wouldn't want to predict anything right now, but listen, look at Rick Hendrick. He didn't wear his shoes out walking in circles trying to get this race over. It's a nervous car owner right now.
Yeah,
It'll be 5 laps to go, guys, and this is going to be an unbelievable shootout. My main concern right now, will the car stick in the corner with all the oil dry down there that's not really had tire rubber run through it yet?
I'm nervous, and I don't have a dog in this fight.
Wonder what's going through Rick Hendrick's mind. And Jeff Gordon, we talked about all his wins on mile-and-a-half racetracks over the years. He hasn't won on a mile-and-a-half yet this year until tonight. These guys thinking about what could happen.
If the 24 gets into turn 1 and slides up about a lane and a half, and the 5 car gets underneath of them, and it's a drag race down into turn 3, Jeff Gordon might have that momentum on the top of the racetrack to hold off that 5 car, because that bottom lane off of turn 4 is dirty right now, guys.
Lots of time to think about what could happen in those cars. And we're going to find out what's going to happen as the pace truck pulls away. Can Gordon hang on? What about Kyle Busch? Will he listen to team orders? Don't wreck each other, guys. Big picture. You said Clint Boyer will go high. Will he go high? We're going to find out. Green flag with 5 laps to go. Here they come. 5 car underneath the 24. 24 car must be sputtering.
And take a look at Ryan Newman. He just checked out. The 5 cars under the 24, they both got slowed down. And Ryan Newman said, adios, I am out of here.
Clint Boyer couldn't get to the top because Ryan Newman was already there.
Jeff Burton down on the bottom of the racetrack. The 31 car, he's made a move, but Ryan Newman pulling away.
And the Penske team is on their feet right now, freaking out, going, how did we just get back in the game? And Jeff Gordon can't believe it.
Battle with the 5 and the 31. Kyle Busch now falls in line behind Jeff Burton, who's in behind Clint Boyer in the 07.
Here comes Kyle Busch on the top.
Look at the 99 Carl Edwards. He's kind of getting in the picture right now. He's in a 6th position. 3 laps to go.
Jeff Gordon trying to run down Ryan Newman. Whoa, Newman up in the wall. In the wall. The 12 car up across the... Wow, he was digging for it. Never has won here. Wanted it so badly. He had 3 laps to go. The car break.
God, what?
And we're hearing Jeff Gordon
running out, we're going to finish better than coming in.
Jamie?
And Jeff Gordon saying his car is sputtering. He doesn't know what's going on. Thinks maybe he's out of fuel. But Steve Latarda's crew chief said you should be fine right now. He said stay out right now. And at least if we run out, we hope to stay in the top 10. So see what happens here.
Right now, Clint Boyer's got him in his gun sights. Boyer's got a good car, too.
Well, let's take you back to the restart here with 5 laps to go.
And it ran out of gas.
Now, Gordon suddenly slows. You hear him say the thing's running out of gas. It sputters. Watch the 12 car go around the outside and just take off.
And the 5 car, he's just too loose on the bottom to stay in the throttle. He can't get any momentum going.
Ryan Newman pulling away. Now Gordon chasing him. 3 laps to go in turn 2. Now watch the 12 car just snap sideways.
Man, it looked like he was gone from here, and then all of a sudden.
Restart, guys. Newman right before that uttered a phrase which indicated he would be throwing caution to the wind. Speedy drying things in the turns didn't bother him. He was going to go for the lead. Then after the car spun and hit the wall, he said blew a left tire. left rear tire.
And the problem is the left rear tire is still up on it. It doesn't look like it's blown out. As a driver, though, you can feel that maybe you thought that's what it was, but as the car came by in our cameras, I didn't see the left rear tire flat on it.
Tough break either way. Man, that was just tough to see. And now what do we have? We got a car leading the race that may be out of fuel.
Got the 48 of Jimmy Johnson on pit road. He comes down and try to get some fuel on the flat.
This is a bad thing. If you're running on the flat, it means you're picking up all the debris on the apron, but it's his only choice he's got. The pickup is in a right rear corner of these fuel cells. And if he's on the bank and the fuel's going to run away from it, the car is going to try to die.
And so is Kyle Busch.
Yeah, we see his teammate doing the same thing exactly. So these guys are worried about fuel.
This is real reminiscent of what we saw with Tony Stewart at Kansas City right before the rain came. Tony thought he had to race one. He was on the apron. But Jerry, the problem here is if he goes back, he's got a lot of debris in those tires now.
And we saw Greg Biffle win that race on the apron, hanging on with just ounces of fuel. There's going to be one attempt, and NASCAR allows only one attempt, Andy, at the green, white, and checker.
One attempt, and that is it. And boy, the 5 is out of gas. The 24 is out of gas. They're still running, but they're very, very concerned. You see the 5 wiggling back and forth, trying to get fuel to the right rear corner of that fuel cell.
This will be the 5th green, white checker of 2007. Daytona, Bristol, Talladega, and Michigan in August.
Our graphic shows all these guys should be completely out of fuel, sitting on empty. The problem here is that pickup is in the right rear corner, and once these cars get the G-forces in the corner, that fuel will go over to the right side. But on this restart, it's going to be over in the left, so it could stumble. These cars that are low on fuel may not get going good.
This is NASCAR's version of overtime, and we've already seen some big-time upsets today in overtime. Triple overtime, and Kentucky stuns #1 LSU. Folks, coming in tonight, #1 in the points was the 24 car of Jeff Gordon. Does he get stunned in overtime in a NASCAR race? It's been that kind of day in sports.
Tony Stewart right now is 4th in the points, 206 points behind the leaders. And he is really hoping that the 24 car of Gordon's going to run out so he can make some ground. But the guy that looks like he's really going to benefit is Clint Bowyer.
Clint Bowyer has been the Cinderella story this entire chase. Got his first win at New Hampshire. Been able to move up to 3rd position, the highest he's ever been in his brief career in the point standings.
This could be very interesting, even if they go back to green. Will the tires on the 24 be cleaned off enough that he can get grip to get through the corner?
Here they come. Pace truck pulls away. Jeff Gordon will lead him down. Does he have the fuel to get up to speed? Watch Bowyer. He knows that Gordon may not have a lot of fuel. Which way does he go? Gordon in the middle groove. Does Bowyer go high? Gordon now coming up to speed. Watch the 5 car. How much fuel does he have as well?
Looks like Gordon gets a lot better restart this time.
Even he doesn't know how much fuel's in the tank. Is it going to sputter? Here comes the 31 car. Burton, who won it last night in the Busch competition from the back of the pack.
Did he make it on field? Jeff Gordon's got a good handle on the car.
White flag for Jeff Gordon. 1 lap to go. Does he have enough?
Unbelievable. The 07 car are trying to run him down, but doesn't look like Gordon's going to have a problem. His car's stuck good. He's got a half a lap to go.
It's been since 1999 that Jeff Gordon has been able to come home and win at this racetrack. He has not finished a race in 3 years, but folks, tonight, Jeff Gordon wins again at Lowe's Motor Speedway.
Got ahead of that 24 team.
Unbelievable. I would have never bet that the 24 would have enough grip to get to the corner after running on the flat.
He's got a horseshoe up their butt, but keep it up there. Great job, guys. Woo, that's awesome. Charlotte.
Great effort there, and I bet Rick Hendrick is just sighing a big sigh of relief, a big smile on Rick Hendrick's face. His drivers finished 1st and 3rd. Let's go down today.
just said to me, I don't think I can take a lot more of this. What was going through your mind there?
Well, you know, first off, we wanted to tell Jeff and Kyle, hey, let's think big picture.
Oh, we heard that. Told them not to wreck each other.
Right. And then Jeff said he thought it stumbled, so I thought we're out of gas. And Jimmy ran out of gas. Oh man, it's a great win. I'm just glad it's over.
You can sleep well tonight.
Oh yeah, I can sleep well tonight.
All right, let's go to Mike Massaro.
And we're the very happy Steve Letarte. Steve, the first thing you did was go down to Alan Gustafson. What'd you say to him?
Well, I just thanked him because on that restart before we went out, we ran out of gas getting into 1. It stumbled, and the 5 easily could have spun us out. But that kid in the 5 showed a lot of maturity right there. He really gave us a break, and that's what allowed us to win tonight.
How stressful was that?
More stressful than it needed to be. It could have just went green. It would have been okay, but it was a good day for us. The DuPont Chevrolet ran well all day. The Pick Creek did good, and now I just need to get an update on the Red Sox score.
We'll work on that for you, Steve. Of course, Steve from Maine, very interested in what's going on in Boston tonight, Doc.
Wow, final results, Jeff Gordon takes the win. Clint Boyer in second. Kyle Busch, his teammate, back in third. Jeff Burton finishes fourth, making up for the disappointments the last couple of weeks. And Carl Edwards, 5 chase drivers finishing in the top 5. Edwards, by the way, finishing 5th. Well, he had enough fuel, guys. He had enough fuel. Let's check in once again with Dave.
With Clint Boyer now, who had a good run to the end there, Clint.
Let's take a look at our Chevy winning moment. It would be Jeff Gordon, the 4-time Cup champion, coming down for the checkered flag with his Chevrolet. What an effort for Gordon tonight, holding on despite the fact that the tank was almost dry. And Jeff Gordon extends his points lead in the chase for the NASCAR Nextel Cup to 68 points over his teammate Jimmy Johnson. It was 9 points coming in there. Kevin Harvick, who had that tire issue very early tonight, he slides all the way back into 8th spot. Jeff Gordon, the long dry spell, just finishing a race here, not since October of 2003, but that's all over. Let's go down to victory lane in Jamie Little.
Doc, it was 13 years ago. Jeff Gordon got his first ever Cup victory here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, at Lowe's Motor Speedway, and tonight he comes through victorious. Jeff, what were those final moments of that race? His beautiful wife Ingrid here. What were those closing moments like for you?
Well, I can't tell you how many times we tried to give this one away. Oh, man, I don't know where to start. You know, just an incredible day for the DuPont Chevrolet team, and I got to thank all these guys. I mean, they just never gave up, you know. And Jimmy Johnson, I'm not sure what happened to him. You know, he had us all covered, and when I saw they had problems, you know, I thought that was an opportunity for us. We had an awesome race car. The best the car was all night was, you know, there towards the end. It was just on rails. So, you know, I just kept saying, no caution, please, no caution, no caution. And I saw oil coming on my windshield. I saw the 66 was leaking it. Everybody's going everywhere. I knew the caution was going to come. And then the thing ran out of gas. I was having trouble with the pickup. It was on the banking, and all the fuel was running out of the pickup. And I wasn't smart enough to know to go around the apron the first time. And then even on that last one, on the restart, the tire spun so bad that Clint Boyer, he could have gone right by me, and he gave me a big shot in the rear bumper, and it kind of got me going again. So great day. I just got to thank DuPont and Pepsi and Quaker State GMHC, all the folks from Nicorette and Georgia Pacific and Sparkle brand. What an awesome, awesome day today was. I mean, this is what we've been looking for, is getting us a win in Charlotte. What a great comeback. And I owe it all to those guys right there, Steve Letarte, all the guys on this team, everybody at Hendrick Motorsports, engine department, chassis. We're here at home, so we got to thank all those guys and all the people that work so hard right here locally.
And NASCAR's backyard, Doc, he takes home the victory for the second week in a row.
Thank you, Jamie. Congratulations to the NASCAR Nextel Cup Bank of America 500 winner Jeff Gordon, his 6th win of the year, 81st of his career. And by the way, he extends his chase lead to 68 points over his teammate Jimmy Johnson. Next week, we head to Martinsville Speedway, NASCAR's oldest track, getting down on the wire. Race number 6 in the chase for the Nextel Cup. Our coverage of the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series Subway. For watching our coverage of ESPN on ABC.